I am alive, it looks like, but I just gotta check. Oh, yeah, there we go. All right. I think I am alive. Yes, all good. Okay. Thank you for joining me, everyone, whoever's here. Today it's going to be a firstly we're live streaming just for members, and number two, we're live streaming from the Discord, so you can join anytime. You don't have to be a member to join the Discord, but if you want to watch the show and you're not a member, then you pretty much have to be in Discord. But so I want to start off with something that I really missed regarding Jdubs and Von Helton, and that's the part when they met up with G-Man, and they had some very, very awful things to say about yours truly, Sidney Winston. So let's get into it. Take it away, G-Man. Or what's his name? Von Helton.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. What can I do? I'm fucking up already. Let's come down here a little bit. This is a nice place.
Are you live or are you recording?
We're live. I saw a lot of hot women driving by here.
Be yourself.
This is a nice place.
This is a nice place, man. This is.
We actually got Von walking outside. Can't believe he's walking.
Yeah.
And look who we got over here. Look who.
That's crazy.
Now let's get something straight here right now, so we don't have no problems with this later on. They don't live with me. I'm not trying to get them to live with me. I'm going to take them to get something to eat and a drink. That's it. So don't be.
Thank you.
I don't want to hear that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, if you want Von, you can take him. You want Von? I'm.
He's gonna hook us up or something, you know.
You said you got a room for him. You got a room for him?
Yo, wait,
You said it. Now you said it on camera. That's public knowledge.
Hold on a minute. Sidney Winston, how are you? When you gonna come get you some, huh? Talking all
That dude is pussy. That guy's a punk. I'll try not to curse. I'll try not to curse. I'm around G-Man, so I'm gonna change my ways.
This is what happens when you have a pagan meet a Jewish person meeting a Christian. Pagan, Jewish.
So we cover all the bases in this one. We got all the bases.
We just need a Muslim. You know any Muslims?
We're gonna prove he knows 500 forms of martial arts. All right, let's go. Go, ready?
Oh, there you go. That's it.
I was nowhere near you, bro. I wasn't nowhere near you.
It was
the Karate Kid.
it was the chi energy knocked you down.
The karate cripple.
How many names are they calling me right now?
Lori says hi.
You know what makes them mad is when I have friends, when I have people that actually enjoy being around me. That makes
Von's not a bad dude, right?
Von's a midget. He's just great. Now look at me. Dragna told you guys I was 5'2". This man's 5'7". I'm 5'11". Jdubs is the tallest guy that's over here.
I'm 6'1".
taller, yeah.
Right.
I'm a little bit taller.
You're 6'1" and I'm 5'11", so everybody see this here real quick.
Yeah, a little bit.
Come over, get over here, Von.
Von's like our baby boy.
I'm like a little.
Von's our son.
I'm a little dude, man. I'm a little
Little
dude.
dude.
But yeah, you know. But that's what makes.
Wait a minute. Todd Malako's the one threatening you?
Yeah.
Or is he threatening you?
He's threatening me.
He's threatening. Well,
How you doing, Todd? You
already
still making
destroyed
idle
my-
threats that you can't back up?
He
There you
already
go.
destroyed my stuff.
And
Todd,
Todd's
yeah.
a goon. He's a moron.
You know Todd drove all the way down to Kentucky to buy his tax lien.
You did?
Yeah.
There we go.
We're squeezing it.
Okay, so don't squeeze it. Okay, we go.
Squeeze.
So Todd, you want to sue somebody, right? Maplewood, New Jersey. Bring your Rudy Poo behind over here and watch what happens. There you go.
He'll come out to here.
No, he won't. No, he
drove.
No. He did that with you.
He
won't
drove
do it
away,
with me.
and he's following us around East Brunswick.
Yes?
Well, we think he hires someone. He hires someone to drive around watching us.
Y'all might be a little paranoid because maybe it ain't happening.
No.
Well, there was a car
Where
without-
we go, they go. Where we go, they go.
Yeah, and then they parked and stayed there all day until we left. So.
And then when we went somewhere else, they were in that parking lot.
Exactly.
Oh God, y'all sound like the other two.
I know.
Listen, the bottom line is this, Todd.
Right.
Be angry.
Be angry. Be angry, trolls. I got people that are friends with me now, so be angry. Because that's what that is. What's what makes them angry? Seriously.
Who cares? I don't, listen to me. Todd Malico is a troll. Don't care what he thinks.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
Yo, look, let's get this done. Come here. I'm a Christian. I'm about to hug a pagan. Yo, no, wait, what are you doing? I'll hug you later.
Oh, okay. No Jew.
That's right. That's right. Because we're all trying to get
You
someplace.
lifting some weights or something. You strong.
See what you think. Oh, here, see what you think.
Let me see.
Well, I've been trying to get into the gym. I've been trying to get into the gym.
He's been getting me to the gym. I've been trying to get back into it. I used to be a power lifter years ago.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
G-Man, let me ask you a question. You can't lie. You're a Christian, right? How important, he's trying to get a girl. How important is it to shower every day?
That's super important because if you don't bathe, you're not going to get
You're not going to get a girl.
I'll have a place by you.
I bring him to the gym every day. The gym has a free shower. He won't use it.
Because I'm busy working out.
Okay, after you working out, you got to shower. Exactly.
Actually, I know one that might, but
Well,
and all
we're
of
not
them know who
going
that
Well-
person is, but that probably no.
Well,
No,
maybe Miss
no,
Parker.
No way.
No, not Miss Parker.
No.
Miss Parker, you get a big dong on you.
No,
Miss
it's the other
Parker.
one. The other one. No one wants to say her name.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
The other
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're
by the way, it has been confirmed. It has been confirmed by G-Man that Miss Parker is indeed.
That's disappointing.
That's disappointing.
That's just my opinion.
Oh, that's your.
Oh, you don't know if it's real.
Time out.
Okay.
That's just my opinion. I can't factually prove such things, but she still hasn't proved that she's a woman either.
They
so-
said G-Man looks fat. Hold on a second. This guy's
Oh no, I got guns, bro.
This is fat.
he's big.
This is fat.
This is
This is
fat.
fat.
This is fat.
This is fat. I got to get rid of this thing
Yeah.
too,
Back?
man.
Oh wow, it's better than when
Well, they
said
use
I
the
was
word
skinny.
tubby. They use the word tubby. Whatever the fuck tubby means. Tubby.
Yeah.
Hold on a minute, how you turn this thing around? I gotta teach you guys how to make a video. So anyway, look. So I look fat, huh? No, those are called muscles. I know some people like Scientist Sam who's watching this, who's bony and scrawny and ain't got no meat on his bones.
got
Wouldn't
malaria.
understand that. Oh, he does?
You took that serious.
No, I don't want to tease him if he's sick. Oh, if he's sick, I don't want to tease him.
I don't
you
know.
know.
I'm bringing
Okay,
shots. I'm bringing.
I don't like Scientist Sam, but
I'm just joking.
Now if you would have told me that about 2 years ago when he made that joke,
Yeah.
It'd be something different,
I
yeah.
won't play around.
so go around again. I'm not bony like Scientist Sam. I don't have too much cellulite like Dragnut did. I have something called muscles. So
He's got
just putting it out
Don't
there.
make fun of
And
him.
anybody who thinks I'm being fake, I still don't like the Dragoons. Simple as that.
That is a
You
little
understand
bit.
what I'm saying? But it is what it is, and y'all know why. Oh, and by the way, it's a little secret. I told them I might as well tell you guys. You see this park here? This is the park where basically, how can I put this? The video I made about all of them when I was saying some angry stuff to them. This is the park. This is the park. Here you go. Here.
Here's the plate.
Come on out to the park.
That's how you be
What is
yourself.
this? Springfield and Vermont. Springfield and Vermont. Come out.
You're telling them where you're at?
Come on out. Come on out.
Yeah, that's crazy for for him, isn't it? That's crazy.
Come
for
on
You
out.
done bumped your head, but since you told them, we might as well take it to the next level. All right, so look.
Meet me at the bus stop.
There's a Walgreens in Maplewood, New Jersey, and there's Vermont. Now, Todd ain't gonna come. What's gonna happen is they're gonna call the popo. That's what they're gonna do.
he's going
They got SWAT us. Yeah.
they're gonna call the popo. So
You've been.
let's go-
Let me ask you a question,
I
Jim.
know this area very well.
Have you ever been? Well, let's go in the car. Let's jump in the car.
No,
I'll drive you around. Where you want to go?
leave the car.
All right, leave the car here.
He knows the area we don't, so
All right.
he knows the area we don't. So
I'm not some wannabe rich boy like Clarence Fan.
G-Man has been eating the 150K. What is that? I don't know what half these people is.
I don't know what that is.
G-Man is far from being fat. Yeah, see, a girl says you like it out there.
Yeah.
I take my shirt.
I like this area. We were driving through Newark, and I saw all these hot black women,
chicks,
man.
man.
Holy shit.
Hot white women too.
Hot white women, hot Spanish
Black
women.
women. There's a lot of Spanish. Oh,
Yeah.
Holy cow.
A lot of Spanish women.
You know, out of all of your enemies, the best looking one, I think out of all of them. Now, this person isn't my enemy. I think they're your enemies.
Yeah.
But T. Petty is probably the best looking.
I don't know who that is. T. Petty?
Ella.
Ella?
I gotta stop saying Aya because I ain't gonna hear the end of it.
Ella,
Ella.
whatever.
Squirrel. What the heck is this?
They having a fight.
Spicy, what's going on, Spicy?
Next time you come down, you gotta bring Brett with you.
I want to see those likes. We only got 3 likes. Come on, guys. Tap that screen.
What's your relationship with Brett King?
Well, you know what?
Rocky.
Me and Rob, it's like on and off. One day Brett likes me, and the next day he tells me I'm a rotten cocksucker.
gotta run.
Oh, I'm cursing again. I'm sorry.
No, it's not that. It's that ain't nothing new. That's him.
That's
That's
nothing,
how
yeah.
he is 24/7.
He has PMS.
I'll be back.
Oh,
the
okay.
bathroom?
Yes, yeah. He might poop himself if he.
Okay. Don't forget to change the diapers too, okay? Yeah, I believe I met Von Helton. All right. I met a superstar.
It's not play.
And he's a good evolution debater too.
I might have to relocate here.
When in this part.
No, there's an area. Buy a place around here.
Well, you can buy a place, but there's a lot, and I mean a lot of Jewish people if you keep going down that way to Springfield. New Jersey.
Okay. So it's like Lakewood. You ever been to Lakewood?
Lakewood? Yeah, I used to live there for a little bit.
Oh, okay. Nice. So let me do a little interview with you.
All right, cool.
So we're here with G-Man live. How long you been a Christian?
Sorry, 1 second.
Oh.
How you doing, deconstruction? Oh, sorry, nobody cares about you. Anyway, so let's go ahead. I'm sorry.
So so I'll ask you how long you been a Christian. If you want to answer it, like since you've been saved or were you born a Christian?
It's 2025, so about 25 years.
You've been saved. That's when you
That's when I became a
accepted.
Christian. Yeah.
Like really, you were born a Christian, but that's when you really accepted.
No. I've been a Christian for 25 years. I'm 50 years old.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's when you were born a Christian. I mean, you were quote unquote born a Christian, but
I wasn't born a Christian.
you weren't raised that way?
So the story, as I understand it, is that G-Man was an addict, and he turned to Christianity to defeat his addiction. I don't know whether Christianity has helped him with his addiction, but just like anybody else who becomes a Christian, they are something else before. They're an addict, or they have some kind of guilt complex about their behavior, and so they turn to Christianity. In G-Man's case, he is a sex addict. So I'm not sure exactly, but I guess it's pornography. He couldn't stop watching pornography, and he turned to Christianity and changed his life. Apparently, as I have heard from someone who knows him very well. I think I'll just leave it right there and let them carry on.
My dad was a Muslim.
Oh, I didn't know. See, that's why I asked you that. Okay.
My mother was a professing Christian. She wasn't.
Okay.
She would tell you that if she was still here.
Okay. So your mother's, but you don't consider her a real Christian? Is that what you're trying to say?
Not me. She didn't consider herself one until later on in her life.
Okay, cool. What did
I
it?
posted that on me. You got that? You got me like a.
No, you're good. No, now that you're kind of far away.
Get up my pimples and stuff like that and everything.
What brought you to being saved? What did it for you? Was it like a moment, like you just
The end times.
you felt like you had to repent, get close to God?
The end times. The people that was preaching to me was reminding me that the rapture could happen any moment.
So get right with God before it's all over. Okay. You enjoy. What if you could give a message to somebody? Why they should repent? Why they should be saved? Why they should come to Jesus?
There's no such thing as good people. The only good person that ever walked the earth is God. That's my opinion. Jesus said, and I know me and you are slightly different on this, but Jesus said, "Why do you call me good? Only God is good." I don't believe in good people.
Sure.
God is good. I know you disagree.
God's good all the time.
I know you disagree with me.
You gotta say it with me. God's good all the time. All the time, God's good.
All the time. You know what would be cool? Today's Friday. The Black Hebrew Israelites.
Okay.
What is it, about 2 or 3 miles from here in Newark?
They preaching, right?
Oh yeah, they'll be in Newark. I would love to have.
They'll chew me up, man.
No.
No, they're rough people, man. I can't.
When you stand with me, they're gonna ignore you.
Why?
You think I'm joking around? You
Yeah.
have videos?
A little bit.
Time. They won't say nothing to you.
Okay.
Plus, I can teach you how to destroy them with Deuteronomy 28, verse 68. So.
That's the one with the slave ships?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of IUIC and GMS that live around.
So let me ask you this: what is it about Hebrew Israelites that you wouldn't consider them brothers?
They're not real Jews.
They're not real Jews, but are they Christians at least?
Because they don't go by ancestry. They go by the curses, and the curses could apply to anybody. If you know Deuteronomy chapter 28, if you actually read, if you keep the laws, you're blessed. If you don't, you're cursed.
Yeah, the sky will turn like an iron, and it will be like a weight on you, et cetera, close the blessing.
They say that the black people are cursed, and they can't even buy a house, and that's baloney because I know several black people around here that own a house.
Do you think it's that bad? Like America is still bad for black people? Has gotten better or worse? What do you think? Like for what they're saying.
Better than it was 200 years ago.
So that's what you're saying, that like it doesn't really fit because of that. Is that what you're trying to say?
With the Hebrew Israelites,
Yeah, what they're saying. Yeah, what you're trying to destroy their argument. So that's what you're saying. It's not as bad as what they're saying.
No, what I'm saying with the Hebrew Israelites is that they claim that because black people are cursed, that makes them Israel.
Okay.
Bull.
Okay.
Everybody is cursed if they sin, according to what the Bible says.
I get you. Okay. So are they at least Christians? They might not be real Jews.
No.
They're not saved.
No. They don't even believe in the name of Jesus. They believe the same thing that most people believe, that the letter J has only been around for 400 years, but they don't know translation and transliteration.
So what makes someone saved and what makes someone unsaved?
Believe on the Lord Jesus Christ.
And
not on yourself.
Do you believe that once saved, always saved, or you can lose your salvation? Because I know that's a heated debate.
Either one, because that lose your salvation argument is a made-up term. It's called
like Calvinists.
It's called erring from the faith.
Now you have a good friend named Veckel, our good friend. I love Veckel. Now he's a Calvinist.
He's trying to get me in trouble with Veckel.
He's a Calvinist.
Yeah, Veckel comes to about here.
Is he? He's tiny too. Okay, but he has he got
about your height.
Veckel's a good guy.
We got people walking. We got people coming by. I don't even remember what I was saying.
Veckel's a good guy.
It was nice meeting you, G-Man, man. It's a.
Keep it live.
You want to keep it live? You want to keep going?
Sidney Winston is
I
going
hate
to.
that dude, man.
Why do you hate Sidney so much? He's like a midget compared to the other people that can be making videos about you.
I know. Veckel's like I'd rather have a beef with Veckel than Sidney.
But all he's doing is sitting there laughing at you.
Right. There's nothing meaningful.
Come here.
What's up?
Okay. Can you see the two of us?
Kind of. Here, let me hold.
Back up a little bit. Get the two of us.
I'll get the two of you. Okay. All right. I got you.
So, Sidney Winston, since you believe that you're so good at the parody, you know what I mean? I can take you myself, but I tell you what, here's a little challenge for you. Okay. Why don't you invite me and Jdubs on your channel, and let's have a discussion about, I don't know, the YouTubes. Christianity, you can talk to him about Judaism.
Well, he calls me a fake Jew.
Wait a minute. Wait.
He says I'm a fake Jew.
Didn't you become a Muslim?
I did. I met
What the heck happened with that? I'm doing this live. This is a reaction right now.
I took the shahada. I did. I became a Muslim.
Temporarily.
That was the deal in order to marry my wife.
Yeah, in order to marry the wife.
She was
So
Muslim.
you faked it.
Well, I tried my best. I tried to,
You pray 5 times a day?
I tried to keep the marriage
And
going.
you face Mecca, you really betrayed your people.
I know. I repent.
It's a good thing those people were your brothers anyway.
She was a good woman, but
So you're Jewish again.
I'm Jewish again.
Now we got to bring you to Christianity.
I didn't.
We got to get you to say Jesus is Lord.
She always make fun of me for doing it, but I really, really believed in the marriage. I really believed in her, and it takes a lot to be married, So
What happened? What happened? Without going into
no, it's just like the marriage, the religious thing was it started to become a thing for her. When we first met, it was just like, okay, you just say you're Muslim, that's great, but then as time went on, it's like she started to become more religious, and I started yearning for Judaism again, and it kind of, I was like fucked up. I was like, you know what, maybe I shouldn't have.
Okay, so we call that backsliding.
I was a backbiting.
You
I'm a backbiting
still need to repent and become a Christian.
I always gotta repent. Every day.
Yeah, you know what? I guess I'm meeting these guys in person and I'm having some fun.
No, G-Man is right. When G-Man was saying, there was a preacher man that told you, you gotta repent because you never know when the day of judgment comes, and that's true.
Right.
According to Judaism, that's the same thing.
Right.
We believe that every day could be the last day. It could end right now, and so if you're not saved, that's it. Like Noah, once the rain starts coming and the boat's packed up, there's nowhere to go.
Except Christ has got to be the blood. The blood of the lamb has to be the one that covers your sin. You know about Passover.
Sure, of
You're
course.
depending on a literal lamb. I believe in a literal lamb too. He just happens to be sitting at the right hand of the Father. Now I know this pagan's over here listening to us talk about this. Why don't you get the phone? Why don't you bring Von Helton?
All right.
Do this live and in person, so nobody can say G-Man's a coward.
Someone's asking Jesus or Moses.
Jesus.
What is it? What is this? Baseball? Yankees or Red Sox?
Actually, there's a version of Moses in the Samaritan.
So he's a pagan and I'm a Christian. I'm just meeting Von Helton, so I just want to put that out there and whatnot. By the way, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to say, I will buy you a Mountain Dew. I will buy you a hot dog, whatever it is that you want before I leave. Okay. But you got to say one thing.
No.
You got to say something. Come here.
can't.
Yes, you are. I got Fiona to do it. You're going to do it. Come here.
Can't do it. It'll be blasphemy.
No. You believe in many different gods, so it doesn't make a difference. Come here. Say, read your Bible and do what it says. Go ahead.
Yes, if you're a Christian, you should read your Bible and do what you say. And moreover, if you're a Jew, you should read and obey your Torah.
No. Read your Bible and do what it says.
And if you're a Jew,
Read your Bible, do what it says.
Torah and do what it says.
Chumash.
This is great.
And if
We
you're-
call it
and if you're-
Chumash.
And if you're a pagan, you should quote the Rick and read and do what it says. you should obey the religious tenets of your belief. Absolutely.
Okay.
But
Let me
Von,
ask you a question face to face.
Hold on.
Break my eye, too. How old are you?
I am 61.
You said you were 400 years old a few years ago.
Well,
that's his reincarnation.
that's counting reincarnation and stuff. That's not this particular. But this.
So
one
what
here
were
is
you
60.
before you were a human?
What was I before?
I want to do this in person. 'Cause
I
I
don't know about
always want to do this.
Well, I don't.
I don't want to come back. If there's reincarnation, I don't want to come back.
I don't know about
How you doing? Because you can come back a piece of grass, you can come back a tree, you can
Well,
come back.
okay, all right. Well, now that's the Hindus that believe that. I
You have a
don't-
different
I
version.
do not believe that.
And you still believe in the unnamed gods and all that stuff?
Well, they have. Well, I'm sure they have a name. It's just
You know what Earth is called, right? This is a pagan. This is supposed to be a pagan thing, right?
This is yes. It's got a name. It's
It's
called
Demeter.
Gaia.
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 Okay.
Terra.
Oh, by the way, there's no proof that the Earth exists. By the way, according to the atheists. According to atheists, there's no proof that the Earth exists.
Well, they're solipsists. They don't even know.
What are you standing?
Well, they're solipsists. They're solipsists. They don't even know if reality is real. They don't even know.
What do you think you're standing on, idiot? You gotta be standing
There
on
is
something.
no evidence that Gaia or Demeter exists, the Earth.
Well,
There's
not
no
only
evidence.
not
How you
only-
doing, Sidney Winston? How long have you been agnostic now? You ain't atheist no more. You got to be agnostic. Now let's talk about Christianity here real quick. When are you going to repent of your sins, dude, and come to Jesus Christ?
Now.
And before you call me a coward, remember I'm a one link away.
Not only does it.
You know what? I'm gonna say something, G man. It's harder to get a hold of you than the Pope, man.
Oh, it is.
It is. It's always hard to get a hold of you.
You're the only person that believes that.
I'm sitting there messaging him on Skype and
but-
couldn't get him to answer.
But I think.
Shanny's bigger than you.
Oh,
Oh God, yes.
God.
Shanny's about right here. Hold on a minute. Let me show everybody this real quick. Shanny would be about here, I think.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So she's
Shanny's
like
tall.
6'4".
Yeah, Shanny's tall.
Wow.
Red,
Six-
however, he's about your height.
He's my height.
Maybe a little.
So that's worse for him. He got baby carrot.
Oh, yeah. That videos where I bet them too.
When I said baby carrot, G man's face was like.
Yeah, right. I know. Believe me. I know.
Yeah. That one retro game I gave you, that's like a toy or whatever. Next time I see you, I'm gonna get you like the arcade classics and everything.
I probably like that more than him.
Yeah.
They have them over there at Walgreens. If they got the bigger one, I'll get it for you. Speaking of that, you want some Mountain Dew?
Yeah, sure.
I wanted to get that on camera.
You know what Von needs is a blessing more than anything.
Yeah.
Blessing.
A blessing. You got to give him a bracha.
A blessing.
A bracha, yeah.
Pagan. I'll give you
Are Christians allowed to?
I'll give you a blessing, but you might not like it.
Wait. Let me ask you a theological question. Christians are not allowed to bless unbelievers? You have to be a Christian to bless another Christian?
It depends.
Depends.
Yeah,
Okay.
Depends.
They have
Like-
to be worthy. They have to be. They
No. Ain't no
Like in Judaism.
I can bless you right now. I can go in my pocket right now.
No, that's not what I mean.
Whoa. You're a pagan. Hold on. I get $10 here.
Oh wow, look at that. He's whipping
It's
out the
$10.
money.
He's blessed. There you
What is
go.
all these dollars for? You gonna go to the strip club later? What's going on?
No. Actually, I'm supposed to be going to work soon.
Oh, okay.
Go
Oh.
to work.
Yeah, he's got to go to work.
I got about I'm down here about a mile further.
Don't even point. Don't even point. Don't even point. Don't even point. Don't even
No,
point.
no. It's in Union. They're never gonna.
Oh, okay.
This is made for.
They no, didn't they get you fired or something?
Oh yeah. When I used to work back that way, yeah.
But what could they possibly say? Listen, let me tell you. They called my job up once, and
It's
my
not what they said. It's what they did. They kept ordering pizzas and stuff over there.
oh, because one time they found out where I worked, and they called up my boss and said John's a rotten prick, and my boss was
They
like,
stole
so
my
what?
phone, too. They
Who
stole my
cares?
phone, too.
My boss was like, who
If
cares?
you're around now, make sure you don't leave your phone laying down.
Well, of course.
Oh, that's what
Yeah,
it.
you're screwed. Don't let.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, nobody gets my phone.
Hold on a minute.
Oh, don't run me over.
I got an e-bike. I should have brought that over here. Oh, man, a lot
Really? You got
faster.
an e-bike?
I'm gonna get another one soon too.
Oh wow.
That's what you might have to sell the car and just get an e-bike.
Yeah.
I'm
What
not.
car is that? Is that yours?
My car.
That's his.
How did you get all the way down here?
I drove.
Oh, without going to too much personal information. How did you get
We
there?
parked his car at a McDonald's and then we drove over
I
here.
gotta learn how to talk without giving you information.
I know.
My car's at McDonald's, so I'm good.
We just found a random McDonald's, dumped it, and then we came.
McDonald's, dumped my car
And you
in.
dumped it? That thing must have been old.
No.
You
No.
went to random McDonald's and you dumped it. That sounds very familiar to another person, another YouTuber who drove all the way from Minnesota to.
Baby carrot.
Yeah, and then didn't care about the car no more.
Yeah.
Oh, they drove it off a railroad track.
They drove it
No.
off the railroad track,
No. The first car was like a green Jeep or something like that.
Oh,
I
okay.
think it was her dad's Jeep.
See, I don't keep up with the trolls, so I don't know what goes on.
Yeah.
What you're saying to me is just new to me because I don't know what these people do. I don't,
Right.
you know.
I don't follow.
Have you met
him.
Brett King yet?
I've never met Brett King. Should we do it?
This whole time he's calling you his son, and you don't know. You know, met the
We
guy.
ought to all of us.
If you could get
I
off
gotta
work,
bring a baseball bat because Brett got a mouth on him.
if you could take 2 days off of work, you come with me to Brett. We drive down.
Yeah.
What is that though? It's like 14 hours
No,
though.
I'll pay for the gas. Don't worry about it.
If you pay for the gas, I'll drive. Okay.
So
You-
Brett, come down there. Yeah.
Oh shit! I hit the mute
Muted?
button.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
No, just for a second. Just
Oh,
for a
just
second.
for a second. Okay.
Anyway,
So since Sidney Winston, you've been talking all that smack. I know you talked about these two.
but he's from Canada. He's in Canada. He's not gonna come down here.
No. I'm talking about like on his channel. Like,
Oh,
he's an
okay.
atheist. He's only an atheist because he hasn't talked to the right person. He needs to talk to me so I can some sense.
Yeah.
He
Well, he claimed to be raised an Orthodox Jew, but I don't believe that.
He would raise an Orthodox
You
Jew.
hear me, Sidney? You ain't got no future if you're an atheist. You understand that, right? You also understand you're a Rothschild lackey by being an atheist. You understand
Yeah,
that?
that's right.
Rothschild. Oh, I got
Ooh, he's dropping the Rothschild name on you.
That's true. I mean, it's true.
How many more minutes before you gotta go to work?
I'm gonna check right now. Hold on.
It's 1:22.
Oh no, I got time.
So Vaughn, let me interview you real quick. What's it like to meet G-Man?
It's good. It's good. It's real good, man. I mean,
Look at that.
really.
Mom was shaking a little bit. I don't know what the heck. Well, you're nervous, right? But
He's nervous.
I told
His leg
everybody.
was
Hey,
going
when you
like.
meet me in real life and you get away from these morons on the internet talking about me, you'll find out real fast. Some people know what they're talking about, and some people don't. Simple as that.
Well, say-
Someone said, "Did we drive all the way down to G-Man?" Yeah, that's right. What's
Yeah,
up?
I literally drove
I could have.
Why can't we drive G-Man? What's wrong with that, Eric? You got a problem with that?
Eric has a problem with you meeting me.
Yeah, he's got problems.
Hold on.
Switch
Eric, who's Eric?
right on the bottom.
Eric's video den. Hold on. So Eric's video den muted Exodus. You're muted again. Let me see.
No, it's back. It's back. It's back.
Okay. All right. Didn't realize how short Vaughn was. Oh yeah, Vaughn's
tiny.
Vaughn's is short. Let me stand next to him again.
I'm only 5'7".
Come here a minute. See?
I'm only 5'7".
You right there?
I'm only 5'7", so
You
yeah.
guys
I'm
can get a
short.
good view of this one.
This is why.
Uh-oh, there you go. There you go, the All-Stars. These are the veterans from the great debate days.
Yep. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, I can tell you one thing. Like, y'all can say what y'all want about Vaughn being 900 years old. Take him on an evolution debate and watch what happens.
Yep.
You gotta think you're so smart or whatnot. You atheist or
Evolution's a
whatnot.
bunch of crap.
Have a discussion with him about whether or not atheism is true or not, and watch what happens.
I whip you out good.
And you know you don't want no part of me, so stop it. I don't want to hear it. You know what I should do? I should perform atheism right in front of y'all. No, I'm only joking.
What do you mean to perform atheism? What does that mean?
No.
Sometimes I don't know what G-Man's talking about. How does a Jew become homeless?
Drunken peasants?
Well, I should call up my bank that I own and get some money, right?
Yeah,
Aren't you
considering
supposed to be
you're lower
Illuminati?
I am
You gotta say that the Jews are
Illuminati.
the Illuminati, right?
caste. Yeah, well,
You guys are ruining the
Are
world.
you all moving in together? Yeah, we're all bunking together.
No, we're not.
We're moving in. We're moving in Brett Keene.
we're all,
moving in.
all three of us are going to Brett Keane and move in. Yeah, there we go. Move in.
Keane.
That'd be one hell of a house. Yeah, that'd be a house.
Wouldn't it? Three different religions.
Maybe we get Rev and Shani in there too.
Religions ain't got nothing to do with it. I mean, people can't become Christians unless you hang around them. You know what I mean? So
That's true. How does what would one be?
you got 15 likes.
That's it.
So you, so I bet you got about 3,000 dislikes. So probably, you know.
Yeah, more likely.
How many people watching? 100?
May I
I'm
ask,
sure they-
are
I'm sure they
your
voted
view
down
on Israel?
everything you got.
My view or his view on Israel?
Whose view?
Ask him whose view on Israel.
Yeah,
Whose view on Israel? I don't support the nation state of Israel, but that doesn't mean I support Palestine.
Right.
What is Israel? So biblically, Israel is a people,
Yeah, biblically,
not the
it's
land.
a
People get it confused. Yes, the name becomes named after
The
them.
land is important, and so are the people. But more importantly, the people are the most important.
There you go. That's a good way of putting it, G-Man.
That's right.
Nick says, I like the hat, G-Man. It says John 16.
3:16.
3:16. Sorry, my bad. God loved the world. Von is 5'3". What did I say? Von?
5'7".
I said Von 360.
No, I'm
That
5'11".
is 5'7".
I'm only 3 inches.
5'3". Someone said 5'3".
No, it's not 5'3". It's 5'7".
But you are kind of
6'7".
tiny. When I put you in that picture right there, you look tiny.
Well,
I'm 5'11".
well, I'm also
You're
further back,
6'1".
too.
So
I'm pretty
The
back.
ethno state is not important just to people. It's not an ethno state, but
you know who's
because
a hypocrite
Muslim.
on this topic though? Scientist Sam. Scientist Sam.
What is
actually
Science Sam? As an atheist?
Yeah, he's a Jewish.
But Jewish guy, right?
Yeah, he's a
Jewish
hypocrite.
atheist.
He hangs around people
So he- wait a minute, so he's a Bolshevik.
who supports the eradication of Israel.
Oh,
he's
okay.
a Bolshevik.
Well, I support turning Israel into of God. That's what I support. We want Messiah. We want the
You got
Messiah.
a shirt on that says I love Torah.
I know. I
love Torah.
turn it inside out because when I walk around, people look at me funny. I don't.
Well,
want
you can still put that on. Ain't no biggie. As a matter of fact, you might get the attention of the Hebrew Israelites because there's a lot of them that live around here.
I might turn it
I
in.
totally forgot about them guys.
Yo, yeah, we're about 3 miles away from one of their schools. No, 3.5
I
miles
totally
away from one of their
forgot
schools.
about them guys. My
But if you
God,
want to see
who-
them, you got to go that way past Irvington, past Newark.
Yeah.
And then you got to go over there by the station over there and you'll see them.
yeah.
You can go over there by North Penn State.
I love you. Can I hold you? Yeah, sure. If you want to come hold me, what's up?
So nobody's being disrespectful to me, right?
No, everyone loves you. They say you're looking good. They love the hat.
Wait a minute. Todd Malacote didn't say nothing about me?
Todd Malacote said he gave me a cease and desist letter, so I can't talk to him.
Oh, you can.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Oh well. Like I care. Like I care about Todd, right?
Well, you know, that's the perfect opportunity to block him. And
Yeah. Anyway, we can't. Well, you can't talk about it, but I certainly can.
Yeah.
Somebody made a diss track about me. A certain rap.
That was so horrible.
Oh, that's
And what's
right. That's right. I forgot about that.
I will get on that response sometime this year, and I promise you, I will respond. I'm sorry, guys. I only respond to good raps, not horrible ones. I'm sorry. I respond to people who actually.
Didn't you make a district?
Did you see what Brett King said about me in his rap?
What did he say?
Yo. I'm a musical. What is he? I'm a musical. Oh, I can't say that on your channel.
Yeah.
I'm a musical R word.
Oh,
I
okay.
can't say that.
Yeah.
And by the way, it has nothing to do with prejudice or nothing like that. It's the other R word.
G-Man is a cool black dude.
He is very cool.
Okay, I don't know why you gotta make it racial, but okay.
All right, cool.
He's just a
Where do y'all live? We all live together. I'm bunking with G-Man. I got the top
Yeah,
bunk.
bunking with me. The bedroom's right over there. The living
I got-
room's
yeah,
over
I'm under
there,
this here. And then Vaughn is underneath over there somewhere. Yeah.
So this is the only way I'm gonna be taller than Jdubs. I have to do stuff like this.
Okay, now you're talking. I mean,
Now I'm taller. I'm barely taller than you two.
Yeah,
Look at
still
that.
barely taller
This
than
guy's
you.
huge.
but
Yeah, he's big dude.
I might be taller, but G-Man has better hair than me. I'm losing.
No, I
mine.
don't. my hair's all right.
At least you got a full set of hair. I'm losing mine. G-Man must be sweating. He doesn't look ashy. What?
So hold on a minute. He said read your Bible and do what it says. I know you're not afraid to do it. So go ahead.
Hey, read the Bible. Do what it says.
No, say it one more time.
Read your Bible and do what it says.
Oh, that's three. So now it is Fiona who said it. We got Von Helton who said it, and I got Jdubs to say it. Now all I got to do is get the Brett Keane to say it.
Well, Brett
That'd
King's
be great.
a Christian. He'll say it.
Nick wants to know, did you play high school b-ball?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You look like
I
a
played high school basketball. I played softball and baseball. I played football, and I played soccer. I
Oh,
was a little jock when I was young.
you like soccer?
Yeah.
I never seen a black man play soccer before. I don't believe it.
Really?
Never seen it.
Holy shit.
That's all
Turn on your
Latinos.
TV.
That's all Latinos.
Turn on your
No,
TV.
I play.
No, I'm joking.
Blacks play soccer.
I'm joking. I'm breaking
Now,
chops.
baseball, however.
Yeah.
Find somebody who plays
Yeah.
baseball. Especially on the Florida Marlins.
Hello, Joe Morgan.
Oh, wait a minute. Are the Marlins still a thing, or are they a different team
what?
now?
No, Cincinnati Reds, dude. Joe Morgan.
I think I might have butchered them. They're not the Marlins no more, are they?
Yeah, this is the Marlins.
Sure.
Miami Marlins, yeah.
Cincinnati Reds.
Oh, the Miami Marlins. Okay, I said the
Joe
Florida
Morgan.
Marlins.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They changed it from Florida to Miami. Yeah.
I can't think of the names of all of them. So it's
What are you doing, Hulk Hogan?
Shawn Michaels.
Oh, Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, he passed away. Yeah.
We got
I
people.
was sad. I'm never watching wrestling again. I'm done.
You done with it, really?
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done with wrestling.
Is Vaughn becoming a Christian? Vaughn, are you going to convert to the freedom religion of Christianity?
No, I'm sticking with freedom religion. Freedom religion been very, very good to me, so I'm going to stick with freedom religion. But I mean, I ain't gonna slide anybody.
So you believe, according to reincarnation, you're 900 years old?
Well, not 900.
I mean, in Judaism, we have a concept of a Gilgul where people come back too. Is reincarnation. But yeah,
Christianity, we call that the resurrection.
the
I
resurrection.
believe in Judaism, it's called the resurrection too. When was the last time you read your Torah, man?
Well, we believe like if you didn't fulfill your mission in the world, like you have the opportunity to.
What kind of Jewish person are you?
I am a Orthodox Jew.
Orthodox.
Yeah, Orthodox.
Oh, there's a ton of them up there. You know, with the hats and the long beard.
I don't wear the suit anymore, but yeah, I have the hat in my car. I got the hat.
You used to wear the tissels too, right?
Tissels.
Ain't that-
Payas.
They're down there, man. There's a ton of them, and I mean a ton of them.
I don't look good with the curls and all that.
Good with the girls?
G-Man, get a good photo of Vaughn for the thumbnail. Yeah, okay, we'll do that. We'll do that.
Okay, I'll do that now. Hold on. Okay, come here.
No, I guess with your phone, he means like on a
yeah,
picture
I'm gonna take
picture.
some pictures
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get some pictures.
All right, last thing to say before we head out.
Point at me.
Wait, hold on. Let me get. That's a good. Yeah, that would be.
Christianity versus paganism.
That's right.
All right, now get Judaism versus Christianity. Here you go.
Paganism wins.
Let's get Judaism versus Christianity. Then I get y'all some soda or something to eat.
All right, because I got places to be at 3.
All right, wait a minute. Where's the camera?
Oh, what do you do? Vaughn, what do you do?
Where's the camera? Right?
What do you mean?
Where's the camera? Where do I press the button?
No. What you were live
Oh,
streaming?
we're live streaming. Okay.
What are you talking?
All right.
Vaughn,
All right.
sometimes.
Okay,
Try it again.
This is Christianity versus Judaism.
Yeah. God. You're a nut, man.
Yes,
You're
I
a
am, man.
nut.
I like to have my
You're a
fun.
nut.
He's hyper today.
You should have seen what I did to those two when I first.
Come on, like that screen. 22 likes. Come on.
22 likes.
We got to get up that. We got up that game.
That's ridiculous. I know y'all can do better than that.
Judah says the curls are custom, not required. Technically speaking, it is required. You can't shave your sides of your beard.
You're not supposed to shave, no?
I can hear sit.
Torah forbids shaving the temples.
G-man, you're not worth my time. I would never listen to me. That's like the most played out statement they're saying on YouTube right now.
The Chabad has the Alter Rebbe gave a decree that the Russian Jews didn't have to grow their hair long because the atheists, the atheist communists would grab the Jews by the curls and then cut it off, so they cut them off. John's looking sexy. Thank you, Rose. What are you, Jason? Jason Voorhees?
Sidney Winston right there. There you go right there.
There's a Sydney. Hey, Sydney. Oh, that's from that shot set. He was walking the dog. Look at that. That guy didn't even clean up.
Have a debate? You want to have a debate? You want to have a debate?
That's what I think about atheism. That's what I think about atheism, guys. You gotta watch where you walk here.
Yeah. Tell them if they donate $20 to you, I'll step in it.
For $20, for $100, I'll power bomb Vaughn on the
No,
dog
you
poop.
won't. No.
I'll give Vaughn a DDT on the dog poop.
On the poop? I'm hungry. You're hungry. You ain't that hungry.
Oh, yeah, I'm just
Remember, y'all
chilling.
gonna eat when this is over with.
Yeah.
Unless you want to go keep that going. And
Who spells better, Vaughn or G-Man? G-Man's.
You go to Wawa. You want to go to Wawa and keep that thing going? You can if you want.
All right, he likes Wawa.
No, not Wawa. I'm sorry, 7-Eleven.
7-Eleven. Oh, he likes 7-Eleven.
7-Eleven's all right. John don't like 7-Eleven food.
I do not like 7-Eleven food. Oh.
I'm gonna convert you.
Oh, God.
I'm gonna convert you live on camera.
Oh, I'd rather
That's
eat.
what you're gonna do. You're gonna drink a soda.
Soda's okay. Yeah, soda's okay. I'll get a soda.
I converted you just like that. Just like I'm gonna convert Sidney Winston. Now I have to warn you. In this park, there's been deer and bears in here sometimes.
Okay, yeah, we see deer and bear all the time where we're at.
Yeah, where I live.
So Vaughn, how fast can you run?
Oh, Vaughn will die if you try to run you. You'll kill him.
This dude's got a huge back. I gotta get Beppo to come down here one day. He's all the way up in
Don't even say.
No. He don't care. He already told us.
Oh,
He's
okay.
in NY. He's in NY. I put it here that.
Oh, he's in NY, New York? Okay. Hannah says hello, G-Man. What's up? Hannah, what's her name? Hannah, she's a Christian. I don't know. Can you see the little icon on her face down there? Hannah.
Oh, how you doing, Hannah?
I think you know her. You know her. I think you know.
How you doing?
She's nice. She's trying to get me to stop cursing.
No,
That's your buddy. Vaughn, you got your buddy up there watching us?
I hope he came with us. I hope he's up there.
You move faster than that old man. Let's go.
I know. Vaughn always be Vaughn's always complaining.
No. You're only 11 years older than me, though. I didn't
Yeah.
Listen, Junior. All that means is that's experience.
Yo, we're rolling up deep. We're gonna be rolling up to the 7-Eleven. All right.
They'd be like, oh, the G-man, doc dropping. Doc dropping. Listen to me, Sidney Winston. Go learn what the word doc drop means, you moron. Let me see something here.
That ain't not dropping if they already know.
Yeah, I told them what we were. It was a Maplewood Park, and we gotta go to 7-Eleven. I'm in fucking quadrillion times making videos.
Oh,
I love making my videos in this park, and nobody knows where I'm at. I've seen their comments. Oh, yeah, we know where you're at. No, you don't. You're in Union. No, I'm not. You're in Jersey City. No, you're not. You're in North.
you know when you're in Jersey when people just want to run you over and beep at you.
There you go.
They're running you over and beeping at you at the same time.
There you go.
That's the most I ever seen Vaughn walk. That's true, Vaughn.
Point that right there so that they can know where we're at. I want them to know.
Farmers Market, Maplewood, June to November. I think you said the 7-Eleven was across the street.
It was.
Oh, it was? Oh, that's right. We moved
You gotta
around.
understand, I'm slightly younger than him, so.
I know.
How old are you?
38. I like walking. I can outrun you, G-Man.
You can?
I think so.
How many of you want to see a race between myself and Jacob?
Should I race G-Man? All right, Vaughn, you gonna film us.
All right.
Where's this? As a matter of fact, I'll carry this.
These guys are nuts. All right.
What building?
That building right there. All right, I got it. I got this. I totally got this. All right, on your mark. On your mark. Get set. Get set. Go. Not even close. Not even close. Not even close. It's all that weight. You got to get that weight off. Got to get that weight off, man. G-Man's ripped. G-Man is ripped. He told you he was. Yeah, he's ripped, man. And I get back to the way I was. You'll see what I'm capable of.
I'm sure in the 1920s
I get myself back the way I used to be, buddy. We'll see.
I'm taking on a basketball court right now.
Because I'm telling you right now, I get back the way I used to be. I would be outrunning all of y'all. I don't
Really?
care. Yeah. Oh God, yeah.
You probably will. 1920s, y'all was pretty fast.
1920. Get out of here with that 1920. But
You're 60,
actually,
so that means you were born in 1940 or something.
no. I was born in '63. But that's
remember-
still a long way back.
I challenged, because you remember Redline?
Redline, yeah. He's
Redline's
another atheist.
tall and skinny.
Oh, you met him in real life?
Yeah, he's like a pencil. But check this out.
Was he a white
He
dude?
said he could beat me in a race. And we was in New York, and I said, okay, I'll tell you what. Let's have a race from New York to New Jersey. I bet you won't beat me. I run marathons. I do. This is what I do.
Right.
Come meet me right here, trolls. Right here. See the sign? Sam, Springfield Avenue, Maplewood. That's where I want you to meet me.
There you go.
Come meet me.
Come on, trolls.
Oh, it's a library?
You can't say these words. You can't say Tom Malaco.
I'm not allowed to.
Ah.
He's suing me.
He's suing you for what? For him trolling you?
He's suing me because the trolls are saying that he likes little boys. So
Really?
he's blaming me.
Oh, let him take you to court then.
Yeah.
Find all of the things he's ever said about you.
Right.
And it'll be a tie.
Damn.
The only way he can, listen, it's called tick for tack. In order for him to beat you, he has to be quiet on all matters. And then you have to You have to be the person that's saying all of this
okay.
stuff. If he's got past videos making stuff about you,
Right.
he
He's
can't
an
do nothing.
instigator. Is that what you're saying?
The tick for tack,
You
yeah.
gotta be the instigator.
Prove he trolled. And this is why Dragon was so afraid. Prove
Okay.
he trolled. Prove he doc dropped. Prove he did all of that stuff. The court's the last place he wants to go with you.
What's going on
He's
with these bricks
trolling
over
you.
here?
Listen to me. He's trolling you. He's
And we got Antifa and BLM over here throwing bricks. What's going on with the bricks over here?
They're fixing the streets.
We're going to go in here.
Who's fixing the streets?
They're fixing the streets?
Yeah.
Well, I'm fixing something to eat.
7-Eleven.
Oh, Dollar Tree.
That's where I went to get the,
Oh, okay.
the originals.
Oh,
Don't worry about it. You're not in Kentucky. And by the way, guess who you live near in Kentucky?
What's that?
You was over there by Eve Real.
oh, okay.
And he was over there. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Work. Okay.
All right.
Oh, it's in my bag, so they gotta wait.
Oh,
So you think all food in here is terrible? I can't convert.
I can't come. Yeah, I can.
You might have kosher.
They might have kosher stuff.
Watch
You have kosher?
No, they don't have kosher. Well, something prepackaged maybe.
Come on, Mom. Let me just 7-Eleven.
Ooh.
Who's ever calling me there, no.
I'm coming, man.
What are we gonna get, Vaughn? Mountain Dew?
See it. Hold on.
Mountain Dew right there.
Right here.
That's 7-Up. Okay.
Alrighty, good morning. It is Morning Coffee 232. And it appears that your humble correspondent may have been wrong about Tylenol. Apparently, there is tons of data to suggest that Tylenol is not exactly the innocent thing that it was, or at least that I thought it was. Mind you, though, I have used Tylenol all my life with no side effects of any kind, not even an upset stomach. But, apparently there is tons and tons and tons of data out there to suggest that Tylenol really is dangerous. So, okay, whatever. I guess I'll eat my words. I eat a big helping of crow and say that, okay, maybe Tylenol is bad after all. Oops. Oh, well. However, that does not absolve RFK's total about-face in regards to his original reason for autism, which was vaccines. And so now he's totally flip-flopped and went with Tylenol now, I guess. Okay, well, whatever. So, anyway, enough said of that. There have been various luminaries in the past that have said there's going to be 3 days of darkness in 2025, and I am absolutely beside myself trying to lock down a date. You have this Anna Marie Teague or something, I think was her name. It's Anna Marie something or other. Then you got the Pope, and then you got I guess a friar or a monk, a squire or whatever. But you got several people that have said that this 3 days of darkness is coming. Okay, give me a date. Well, nobody apparently has given a date other than to say that it's going to happen in 2025. Well, holy shit, 2025 is almost gone. This is the end of September. October's coming up, and, so we only got a few months left, and, it's kind of, we're getting kind of down to the wire here. When is it going to happen? If it's happening in 2025. Did they get the wires crossed? What's going on? But anyways, so I am trying to lock down a date on this thing. I'm going to keep at it, see if I can get a date. But a lot of people thought it might have been the other day, but no, it wasn't the other day. It's not sunny out, but it's cloudy and overcast, but it's certainly not dark. Now, the Alrighty. Whatever. So anyway, enough said of that. There have been various luminaries in the past that have said there's going to be 3 days of darkness in 2025, and I am absolutely beside myself trying to lock down a date. You have this Anna Marie Teague or something, I think was her name, Anna Marie something or other. Then you got the Pope, and then you got I guess a friar or a monk, a squire or whatever. But you got several people that have said that this 3 days of darkness is coming. Okay, give me a date. Well, nobody apparently has given a date other than to say that it's going to happen in 2025. Well, holy shit, 2025 is almost gone. This is the end of September. October's coming up, and, so we only got a few months left, and, it's kind of, we're getting kind of down to the wire here. When is it going to happen? If it's happening in 2025. Did they get the wires crossed? What's going on? But anyways, so I am trying to lock down a date on this thing. I'm going to keep at it, see if I can get a date. But a lot of people thought it might have been the other day, but no, it wasn't the other day. It's not sunny out, but it's cloudy and overcast, but it's certainly not dark. Now, the scary part, I did get an update though. I watched a video on it and did get an update. Okay, apparently, at least according to the Catholics, if you're Protestant, or if you're a pagan, or if you're a Muslim, or if you're an atheist, well, I guess you're fucked. Because it was geared mostly towards the Catholics. But the gist of it is that what you're to do, according to Catholics, is that you must stay indoors, and you must pray the rosary, and you must beg forgiveness during those 3 days of darkness. That's what you got to do. Anybody, and I mean anybody, military, government, construction workers, it doesn't matter. Anybody that leaves their home once the 3 days of darkness hits will drop dead instantly. Tough shit. No explanation, no remorse, no nothing. You will just drop dead. So, it behooves one to make damn sure you stay locked down wherever you are. Now, what about those of us that are in our cars? Well, I guess if you're in your car, you better stay in there. Now, what is causing this? Is it God doing? No, supposedly, the 3 days of darkness is when the demons decide, hey, we're going to have a lot of fun, and we're just going to go out here and we're just going to slaughter people indiscriminately that just happens to be caught outside. So, it behooves one that if you are in your car, make sure you are in your car and your windows are rolled up and your windows and doors are locked. Because otherwise, you could have a problem, a big one. So yeah, this is apparently a lot more scary than even I thought it was. So, yeah, you got to stay locked in your... If you're in your car, you're going to have to stay there. Sorry. I hope you got food in your car. Because it's going to be 3 days, right? So you better have some food in your car if you're stuck in your car when the 3 days of darkness hits. And I'm sitting here thinking, what about a school bus full of children? I get, well, if it happens to be before they get to school, they would have their sack lunch with them. So that'd be 1 day. But what are you going to do for the other 2 days? Good question, right? So, yeah, it's going to be real interesting if this thing hits, when it hits, whatever. Now, obviously, like I said, this was geared toward Catholics. I have not found a pagan version of this, nor have I found a Protestant version of this, nor have I found a Muslim version of this, or a Jewish version of this. But I will try to find it, if I can, and I will relay it to you. But, yeah, the 3 days of darkness, they said it would happen in 2025. And, well, we're running out of 2025 pretty darn quick. But, boy, it sure is overcast today. My goodness. I know it doesn't look it in the video, but believe me, it is. It's pretty overcast out there. So, I guess we're going to get some rain or whatever. But anyways, just thought I'd let you know that I'm fervently trying to figure out the 3 days of darkness. Because it's kind of important, especially if you venture out of your car or out of your home, you drop dead. That's kind of a serious thing, right? So I'm going to see if I can figure it out, see if I can find out when it is, get at least a general ballpark of when it is. Now, what should be in October when you got Atlas, Apophis, and Swan, all three out there. You got all three of them suckers out there, man, and it's, hey, more the merrier, right? Let's have the 3 days of darkness right when Apophis and Atlas and Swan are out there beating the shit out of each other. Should be lots of fun, should be educational, right? So anyways, that's going to do it. I will try and get you more information as I can. But y'all stay safe out there, keep your heads on a swivel, because 7 rocks are headed straight for Atlas, and they mean to kick its ass before Atlas gets here, but we'll see. They're saying Atlas is going to come anyway. I don't know, man. Getting pummeled by 7 rocks, I think you might decide to turn tail and go the other way. But we'll see. Anyways, that's going to do it. Y'all have a pleasant day and better tomorrow. Bye.
I apologize in advance that I have no energy today. It's just been one of those weeks where we are struggling to catch our breath. It feels like everything is falling apart and changing. You've heard the 3 major stories at this point. They're all different lanes, but the West is now at a crossroads. Charlie Kirk was murdered on a stage in Utah, and I can't believe I'm saying those words. Israel's striking Hamas leadership in Doha, and that has its own significance. The United Nations is pushing a path to Palestinian statehood. They're all different headlines, but they're the same fork in the road. Are we still willing to defend our values, or are we going to keep surrendering them? I'm Meira, and this is the Meira K Show on JNS TV. Charlie Kirk was 31. I was privileged to know him. He built Turning Point USA into one of the largest conservative youth movements in America, if not the biggest one. If you're under 30, you knew exactly who he was. Love him or hate him, you knew him. He thrived on debate. He walked into hostile campuses and said, "Challenge me." He stood for family and for faith and for freedom. He kept Shabbat. He was a devout Christian. He loved America and he defended Israel. And he leaves behind Erica and their 2 beautiful, beautiful toddlers. Tuesday night, the video started circulating. Charlie shot in the neck on stage while talking to students on a campus in Utah. I will never forget where I was when I saw it and when I heard he hadn't survived. Within 72 hours, thank God, a suspect, 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, was in custody, reportedly after his father flagged him to authorities. Prosecutors are weighing the death penalty, as they should. Investigators are still trying to figure out, why did this kid do it? But the core truth is obvious. Someone decided ideas are a killable offense. Here's why this matters. Charlie didn't command political power. He commanded attention, and he invited argument. That's why he was killed. Killing him isn't politics like the normal murders we're used to. It's a direct attack on a rule that holds free society together. Words are answered with words, not bullets. It's not for nothing that free speech is an amendment in the Constitution. It's the first thing they come after when they try to control you. The moment a culture treats speech as violence, violence becomes the response to speech. And that's the response we have seen on the left in the West. Yes, some condemned it, but far too many didn't. You saw the celebrations. You saw the "now you know how Palestinians feel." You saw the disgusting and cynical use of Charlie's murder to push gun control. It's unacceptable. It's so unacceptable that we are even seeing people on the left denounce liberalism due to the sheer evil of them celebrating him being killed. But I'm actually not here to talk about how far gone the left is, because you all already know that. In the words of J.K. Rowling, if you believe political opponents should be punished with violence or death, you're a terrorist. Enough's enough. I want to talk about what's actually happening now with the right, because they're the one who are going to make this death mean something more, and we have to. We have to make it mean something more. The reactions across the right and the center have ranged from shock and genuine mourning to intense conviction. People who weren't even fans said, this can't be. Yes, fringe conspiracists have tried their nonsense. Mossad did it, Netanyahu's behind this, it's Israel, but even they have got swatted by voices who usually tolerate these theories. I'm talking about Cenk and Dave Smith and even Myron Gaines. The mainstream right came out unified on one thing: free speech must be protected, period. Charlie's legacy needs to be a turn towards God, a serious, serious shift in our culture war to help save America from within. Look, we don't yet know the political motives of the murderer, and we don't honestly need to over-speculate. The case is active, and regardless where he's from, this is what matters. A 22-year-old from what appears to be a normal family was radicalized on campus and online to the extent that he was willing to kill somebody. The mix we've been warning about, normalizing violence and hate, dehumanization of opposing opinions, and university online environments that reward moral hysteria over debate have real consequences, and we can no longer wait to change it. People who never met Charlie felt this in their bones. Something about this crossed a red line. This isn't the left saying crazy things anymore. It's an attack on opinions. And honestly, that's how free societies die. So here's the fork in the road for the West. Do we pretend this is just one incident, or do we confront the culture that blesses violence against people who we disagree with? Do we hide, self-censor, and hope the mob passes us by, or do we double down on conviction and argument and debate? You see, ideas outlive assassins, but only if we defend the spaces where ideas can live. In his life, Charlie was a legend. In his death, however, he's going to be a revolution. But believe it or not, before the story of Charlie broke, and it feels like that time never existed, we had another earthquake. Israel finally carried out the strike in Qatar, Doha, aimed at Hamas leadership, the men who have lived like princes in Qatar whilst ordering massacres in Gaza. We don't yet know if this succeeded. A tweet from Bibi last night makes it sound like maybe they didn't get them all, but actually the story here is much, much bigger than if the leadership is dead or not. What happened with the strike was one of the most significant military operations that Israel has taken since the start of the war. So let's break it down. By now, you already know that Qatar are just terrorists in suits. They have been funding Gaza, funding the takeover of university campuses, pretending to negotiate for hostages, housing the leftover Hamas leadership. They have done all of this by creating a perception of them being a serious player in the international arena and have gotten the US to be their allies, which obviously means that Israel really can't touch them. Now, as the war has progressed, we have repeatedly spoken about how our war goals are to eliminate Hamas and get the hostages home. However, Qatar have become the roadblock to this. If they have the leadership and won't give them up, then how does Hamas end? And if they are supporting Hamas and are leading the negotiations to get the hostages home, then the hostages are never going to come back. I've been asked repeatedly if this attack was a good thing, and to me, despite the price we could potentially pay, this could impact the Abraham Accords, etc., I believe it really, really was. Most definitely. And here's why. Despite claims from both Netanyahu and Trump that this was entirely Israel's doing, there is no chance that the US did not agree to it beforehand. Publicly, they may be presenting an ununited front, but behind the scenes, I believe Netanyahu saved Trump from a big public humiliation from Hamas. You see, I don't think for 1 second that Hamas were going to agree to the ultimatum set by Trump, and that all the hostages were going to be released on the first day, or Hamas were really going to pay. It's been 2 years, and yes, we've advanced a lot in Gaza City, credit where it's due, which is scaring Hamas a lot. But as long as their leadership are safe, they have no reason to give in, they being the leadership. When Hamas said there was going to be an escalation, this was honestly the last card that Israel had that Israel hadn't really touched, taking out the leadership. And now with Israel willing to take the steps against them, even if they are in Qatar, which is precious to the US, Israel has sent the message loud and clear to the world and the Middle East. You can run, but you can't hide. Come for Israel and you will pay the price. And here, strength means peace. To all those asking me about how this impacts the hostages and the negotiations, I'm here to say that those negotiations were a farce. The hostages were never coming home with Qatar keeping their games up. So yes, there are big implications to this. Trump has promised that it won't happen again. They have their base, their big military base and economic interests to protect. And Netanyahu has said that we actually might. And yes, Qatar and other states are debating how to respond. But Israel right now is really at a crossroads because something fundamental has shifted. This is about how you deal with terror. No caveats and excuses, clear red lines. And the Middle East, my friends, is noticing juggling the West and the Middle East is super complicated. Potentially harming relationships with the US is no simple bet. But this conundrum is one that the whole West is facing. Do we play nice in the face of terror, or do we show them that we have serious backbone? Qatar plays both sides. The US based on one hand, billions into Gaza and a megaphone through Al Jazeera on the other. Israel is setting the precedent, and the West is going to have to choose. By the way, look around. There's a public mood shift. You can feel people snapping out of the trance. 3 million in the UK marching with flags last night, standing proud for their country against immigration. There's a change coming, and that change is what we needed now to win. Get the hostages home and save the West from what's coming if we don't. Do we keep prioritizing appearances, soothing statements, partners who bankroll terror, or do we accept that strength is the only language that moves violent actors? And talking about partners who love terror, our third big story of the week is the UN General Assembly decision that voted 142 to 10, 12 abstained, to endorse a Palestinian state. Ugh. The declaration's language pushed tangible, time-bound, irreversible steps towards a Palestinian state, calling for hostages' release and an end to the war, and condemned Hamas 7's attack. Very helpful. But if that sounds like a load of rubbish to you, you're right. You are absolutely correct. The headlines are all saying, UN recognizes Palestine, but it's false. As always, they forget to mention that this is non-binding. It creates no borders, no sovereignty, no state. It's a PR stunt to show solidarity with the Palestinians and to build out a plan that anyone who understands anything about what happens here knows won't work. The idea of a two-state solution is a farce. It's the kind of babble rhetoric the West loves, but that actually does nothing. You all know that the Palestinians have been offered a state multiple times, and they always say no because they don't want a state. They want to take over Israel. This is something that the West obviously really struggles to comprehend and understand. So why won't this motion actually do anything? Well, a statehood requires 4 things. Number 1, permanent population. Okay, the Palestinians have that. It just keeps on growing despite a genocide. Number 2, defined territory. They don't have borders. Their borders are our land. Number 3, a government that exercises effective control. Hamas in Gaza, PA in Judea and Samaria, but they're fighting each other. There isn't one group. Capacity, number 4, to enter relations as a state. In theory, yes, but not in practice. Repeated refusals to negotiate, internal splits, governments by terror, incentives, all this stuff means that they can kind of do it, but not really. So the UN resolution actually changes nothing on the ground. But this is the key. It's symbolic, and symbolism moves politics. Look, to Israel, this doesn't change much. Oh, yay, more countries are stupid and more proof that the UN hates us. But if you look deeper, this shows us just how much we are failing the West. When it comes to hard power, military, Israel is at the forefront of keeping terrorism at bay. We know how to fight back, to stop it, to create ramifications. But in today's world, you also need soft power. That's what changes culture, motivates the media, gets the votes that bring in political power. Israel wins tactically with hard power, but we've been out-organized in every direction on soft power. And we're letting the West down. They're becoming their own worst enemy, and we aren't pulling our weight to save them. By not building out soft power, you get a UN parade for statehood by 142 countries when the would-be states pay salaries to terrorists. Look at reality. Days before this vote, 6 Israelis were murdered outside of my house by 2 gunmen from Judea and Samaria. Their families, by policy, now receive monthly stipends from the Palestinian Authority's Martyrs Fund. And that's the governing culture that this resolution indulges and wants to help. Look at the culture war. More than 4,000 actors and filmmakers have pledged to boycott Israeli films. And yes, even Emma Stone is on the list. They are boycotting Israeli institutions, but they're happily working with China and Russia and Iran. It's not moral courage. It's soft power warfare dressed up as a conscience. And it works because we let it. We treat narrative like an afterthought, and they treat it like a real battlefield. 10 countries voted no. Obviously, the United States and Israel, Argentina, Hungary, and 12 abstained. But 142 signed this bogus thing. That's proof that Qatar's strategy is working in 142 countries, and we have our work cut out for us. This resolution shouldn't make us scared for what it might mean, because it means in reality nothing. There will be no Palestinian state, in the words of Bibi Netanyahu, but also in the words of me. But it's an indicator of how bad things are, and that should give us conviction, not fear. Yes, this will build pressure on us as well. We might see more arms embargoes, more boycotts, more diplomatic harassment, yada, yada, yada. But this is a red big flag for us as a nation that believes in being a light and a beacon of moral clarity to the world. The soft power war is escalating whilst we're fixated on the battlefield. If we keep leaving the narrative arena empty, radical Islam and its fellow travelers win, and they haven't needed to fire a shot. We must stop pretending that this war against Hamas is only a military problem. We need a strategy for diplomacy, lawfare, culture, and media. Our own soft power. They've got Al Jazeera. We've got JNS, and we have to grow. Go straight at the culture narratives, not with apologetics, but with moral clarity and professional, persistent communication. We are at a crossroads. Will the West keep rewarding terror with symbolic trophies, resolutions, boycotts, standing ovations because it's easy and fashionable? Or will we finally say no statehood without borders, no recognition without responsible governance, no money for murderers? October 7th will not be rewarded. And back Israel when it asserts what should be absolutely accepted statements. Are we going to keep letting others define us in their story or write our own? Diplomatically, culturally, legally, with the same focus that we bring to the battlefield, because it's all one and the same. Charlie, are we going to continue to allow the West to self-destruct and celebrate it whilst it happens, to cross red lines, to not set ramifications, and to fight back? Qatar, are we going to keep protecting and enabling those who want us destroyed? Are we going to stay scared because of diplomacy? And the UN, are we going to keep rewarding evil with diplomacy and avoid the need to be a light upon the nations here as well? These are not random stories. They are all warning lights, and they say the same thing. Either the West recovers its backbone or it keeps outsourcing morality to mobs and mediators and meaningless votes. Here's the good news. The public is waking up. People are choosing sides because the mask is off. We can see that it is evil. But clarity only matters if it becomes action. Defend free speech with real courage. Use strength unapologetically against those who trade in murder, and fight the soft war power with the same seriousness as the military one. That's the crossroads, and the time to make the change really is now. I'm Mira Kay, and I'll see you next time.
In a world dominated by social media and internet memes, as well as one in which the Holocaust is being appropriated by anti-Semites to use as a weapon against Jews defending themselves against genocidal terrorists, does the legacy of Elie Wiesel still resonate for a new generation? Wiesel's writing taught the world about the Holocaust, but as anti-Semitism comes back into fashion among elites, intellectuals, and the arts, how can remembering and rediscovering his legacy help us find our way back to a saner world? Today, on Think Twice, we talk with Elisha Wiesel about the new documentary film about his father and why he is still so important in understanding the world we live in. Hello, and welcome to Think Twice. Today we have an important pre-Rosh Hashanah conversation for you about the legacy of Elie Wiesel with his son Elisha. But before we start today's program, I want to remind you, as always, that in addition to Think Twice, there is a Jonathan Tobin Daily podcast where I share more news and analysis with you about the most significant issues we're facing today. You can find The Daily Show under Jonathan Tobin Daily, on the JNS channel, wherever you get your podcasts. And now, to today's program. There was a time when Elie Wiesel's impact on not just the world's understanding of the Holocaust, but also on our culture, was obvious. But nearly 70 years after his Night was published, 39 years after he won the Nobel Peace Prize, and more than 30 years after Oprah Winfrey introduced him to an even wider audience on her TV show, are he and his work being forgotten? In a world in which the Holocaust has become just a metaphor for something bad, or anything someone doesn't like or agree with, or anyone be characterized as another Hitler, is there a place not just for Wiesel's thoughtful prose and storytelling, but the insights about the tragedy of the Holocaust that he taught us in an environment dominated by TikTok. And how should we view his work from the perspective of living through a revival of anti-Semitism in our own time, as Jews and Israel are demonized, sometimes by people who claim to care about the lessons of the Holocaust? A new documentary film about Elie Wiesel, Soul on Fire, has just been released that should both reintroduce his legacy to a new generation and also hopefully ignite a discussion about how we should think about the way the Holocaust is being understood in a world in which, once again, Jews are being targeted. To discuss it, we're honored to have back with us the ideal person to discuss the subject. Elisha Wiesel is the son of Holocaust survivor, author, and Nobel Peace Prize winner Elie Wiesel. After a 25-year career on Wall Street with the Goldman Sachs firm, where he eventually became its chief information officer, he retired from the firm in 2019, and since then he has worked on hedge funds, Israeli startups, as well as on philanthropy, social justice, and political activism. In particular, he has taken up the effort to carry on his father's legacy as an advocate for human rights and bearing witness against anti-Semitism. Elisha Wiesel, welcome back to Think Twice.
Jonathan, thank you very much.
Well, Elisha, thanks so much for taking the time to join us today. I want to start by asking you about your role in the making of the new documentary about your father, Soul on Fire, and why you think a reintroduction to him and his work is important at this particular moment.
Great. The thing is, I had been badgered ever since my father died by filmmakers who wanted to do a reproduction of Night. They all wanted to put their own creative energy into telling Night in their way. And the good news was this was one of the few things I had very explicit instructions from my father from. He never wanted any creative to get between him and his reader of Night. So that was very easy. There was never going to be Night the movie. On the other hand, we did feel that my father had had such a remarkable life with such an incredible message to tell. And my mother and I were both concerned that with the passing of time, perhaps his recognition might fade in the same way that so many people here in America no longer know what Auschwitz was. Maybe they would forget that my father existed and what he stood for. So we went in search of a filmmaker. We enlisted our dear friend Annette Insdorf, who teaches film at Columbia University, and we basically did a search. We watched a lot of movies, and we encountered a film called Hiding and Seeking. And then I said, this one's it. Mom, you got to see this. This is the film. These are the filmmakers. And it was actually Oren Rudovsky and his partner, Menachem Daum. Menachem sadly passed from illness last year or 2 years ago, so was unable to be part of the film. But that's how we came to Oren Rudovsky to make this film.
That's very interesting. You speak in the film, and have done so before, about the difficulty of growing up as the son of this iconic figure. But now in Soul on Fire, we see your children being asked to discuss their grandfather and to be part of this journey in which his life and the Holocaust is again being examined. What was the process of being part of the making of this film like for your family?
We really opened up our doors to Oren and his film crew to come in, and I learned things because of it. You mentioned the pressure that I had felt, how it felt to grow up as the son of an iconic man like my father. There's a moment in the film where both of my kids expressed that they feel pressure, whether from me as a parent or my father as a grandparent, but I actually learned a few things in the making of the film about how my own family was engaging with a legacy that I had not necessarily thought I might learn.
Yeah, I would imagine so. And that's just not even taking the fact that they do come into your home, they do follow you, they follow your son back to Seagat, where your father was born, you know, the lost Jewish community there. That's quite a process of discovery, I guess, for him and I guess for you as well.
Yeah, and there's so much that didn't make it into the film, not just with my immediate family here in the States, but Oren ended up spending quite a lot of time in Israel with my cousins. So my father's sister's children all live in Israel, and they have incredible stories to tell. A lot of the photos that we found from my father in the post-war early years came from Sidney, who is the son of Hilda, the eldest of the family. A tremendous amount of the stories, I think were came from discussions with Steve. So there's a lot that didn't make it in. which is why I'm pushing Oren that hopefully one day we'll do another one of these.
Yeah, and I think for anyone who is familiar with Elie Wiesel, who's read the books and who thinks they know the story, there's a lot in this that even, and I'm speaking, I'm of the generation who was profoundly influenced by your father's writing, gobbled it up. It really helped, sort of form, the way I looked at the world. There's some stuff in this film that I certainly didn't know, and I thought I'd read all the books.
I had a moment, even recently, a friend pointed it out. A friend was really observing something as I was watching the film for the 4th or 5th time. You look at that Bitburg scene, and first of all, there was so much new footage, which Oren had uncovered, which was tremendous. That scene in the Oval Office proper, when they're still trying to head off that impasse,
With Malcolm Homeline there sitting beside him.
Yes, exactly.
Like young Malcolm Homeline. Boy, I haven't seen you in a while.
There's some great characters in the mix. And when
you were there, you get a little cameo in there too. You were there.
I was a little pisher that I'm there, and but I'm learning something new. Like I'm watching it, and you see how much my father was sweating. My father was not I don't think of my father as like a very physical man expressing physical attributes. Usually I think of him as he's calm, he's measured, he does what he has to do. He was always giving lectures. He was very used to being under a spotlight. And you see just how hard that moment was for him, how hard it was to challenge a president, how hard it was to find the right words and hope that they were the right words.
Right, and being asked about it afterwards by Sam Donaldson.
Yeah,
but you see how...
But I was learning new things, seeing just how hard my father was working. And, it's not easy to stand up and do what my father did. And I think that was a recalibration for me as well. He made it look easy, but it wasn't easy. And in that moment, when you really on the big, big screen get to zoom in and you relive it and you see those beads of sweat, just really going down my father's sweat, not easy work.
No, not at all. The film discusses not just the narrative of his life, though that is certainly there, and how he came to writing, but also the way the passage of time after the Holocaust enabled not just survivors to begin talking about their experiences, perhaps also the world to begin to listen to them in a way that it wasn't in 1945. But just as the Six-Day War and the Soviet Jewry movement made the writing of Elie Wiesel resonate for the generation of the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s, and now all these decades later, we're in a very different moment of history. How do you think your father's work resonates for people today living through what, we have to admit is a revival of anti-Semitism and demonization of Jews and Israel after October 7th?
First of all, one of the major pieces of evidence that this is an incomplete film, because how can you capture a whole life in 90 minutes? Soviet Jewry doesn't even come up once.
Right.
Wow.
And he was so important.
Wow.
The Jews of Silence was so important
that book
to a whole generation of people.
That book in 1965 is what put my father on the map as a political activist, way before Bitburg. That's when he started actually saying, boy, I can use my words to not just tell the story of the Holocaust,
I
but
should
more
add,
importantly...
I read that book before I ever encountered Night.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. It's one of my favorite books. When my father passed, I spent that week during Shiva. We scheduled a few hours each day when the crowds would subside and I could just get a few minutes to breathe. And I redevoured Jews of Silence, I think, in those first few days. That was the book that I wanted to turn to capture him at that moment when he became an actor in the world, as opposed to just a victim telling his story, if you will.
Yeah.
You asked about the relevance to today, which is what I was going to touch on now. What a world we're living in where, once again, the Jews are blamed for things that we shouldn't be blamed for. For what? For defending our country against the violent attacks by Hamas, for Israel stepping up to retrieve the hostages, to make sure that Hamas never again has the teeth to do what it did on October 7th. So it's so tragic to see what we're happening. And I think that it's good for people to remember my father right now, because my father was a beloved universal human rights figure who never compromised on how important his Jewish identity was to him, and never compromised on how deep of a Zionist he was. just how much he appreciated the existence of Israel, how he refused to criticize it because he knew that everybody else in the world would criticize it. He didn't need to jump on that. He felt the need to defend it because there were so few defenders of Israel. And my father also, if you look at this context, I want to go bigger for a moment than just October 7th, though that's so hard for so many of us. My father was also a patriotic American who was no less patriotic for having stood up to Reagan on Bitburg or for having stood up to Obama on the Iran deal. My father was he loved this country. He had a vision for it. He felt that this country was capable of more good than any nation state had been in the history of the world. So for all of that, to remind people right now at this time when it's in fashion again to beat up on Israel and the Jews, when it's actually in fashion to beat up on America and actually, go to people who are patriots and make them feel less so, like you must be ignorant to be a patriot. There are a lot of people right now, it's very popular in intellectual circles to bash on America and the dream in which we stand for. And for all of these reasons, I think it's very important to remember my father right now.
Yeah, I think that's very true. And that is an ideological trend that we're dealing with. I think one of the most discouraging things for those of us who care not only about the legacy of Elie Wiesel, and for whom his work meant so much to the formation of our own understanding of the world and our Jewish identity. And I speak, as I said, of myself, and I'm sure many others, when I say that the thing that discourages us most is the way the Holocaust has become something of an all-purpose metaphor for anything that people think is bad, just as we know the common practice of defining anyone we don't like as another Hitler is now so prevalent. Is this, do you think, a failure of memory, which was, your father's cause among the causes and the point of so much of his writing? Or is it because of a failure of the kind of Holocaust education that people are being given?
I think that when Holocaust education is given, it does make people more empathetic. But I am an avid reader and fan of Dara Horn, whose work I'm sure you're familiar with. And of course, her central thesis is that the Jewish community sort of went all in at the poker table and said, Holocaust education is going to fix our problems. If only more people are literate about the Holocaust, they won't hate Jews. And of course, that doesn't work. Maybe it builds empathy for, as she says, the dead Jews. But that's a big stretch to thinking about the fact that 50% of the Jewish population lives in Israel, is confronted with terrible decisions on how to maintain security at their borders. So I don't know, did we go too deeply on just that one strategy to fight anti-Semitism? Probably. To the extent that people are trivializing the Holocaust, is it a disappointment? Yes. Is it a big surprise? Probably not.
Yeah. Well, anything that people gets out there, and I think part of that problem is how they're being taught to think about it. If it's just another bad thing, if it's just the same thing as any ordinary unkindness, if it gets sort of dumbed down to that, I don't think people are going to learn much from it. It just, as I said, becomes an all-purpose metaphor.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, your father, as did his best to stay out of politics. He was always very, very vocal about that. But as we've already touched on, he was drawn into at least one famous controversy, President Reagan's visit to the graves of SS soldiers at Bitburg, Germany. I think almost against his will, which is seen very clearly in the film. And as you say, when you spoke of him, really being under the spotlight. When he lectured the president live on TV, yet failed to dissuade him from going. This incident is, I think, a central part of the film, but how did he view it in the years that followed, and what do you think it teaches us about how we should think of the principle of speaking truth to power?
First of all, you should know he had a fondness for Reagan. He didn't see Reagan as an enemy. He saw him as a man who was being badly coached by his advisors.
And we mentioned Pat Buchanan and his role in that.
I think my father felt in later years, as more was uncovered, and of course we can't help but think about the more recent book about the Biden administration by Jake Tapper, but he felt that perhaps the President Reagan was not 100% there already in the sequence that was unfolding around Bitburg. So my father, I think, tried to be more generous in his interpretations around Reagan in particular.
Yeah, that's interesting that he would put it in that context. But Reagan was still pretty articulate at that time. He just was, in fact, he got into trouble by some of the things that he did say, which appeared and he had to walk back, which he was almost claiming that everybody was a victim, including the SS soldiers, which was,
You saw that on camera. It's just, you can hear a pin drop when I see that in the theaters.
Yeah, well, I mean, and even for those of us who did love President Reagan, who was a great friend of the state of Israel, that was really a terrible, terrible moment. Yet your father was equal to it. I think a lot of, had he not been such a singular figure, had a ordinary Jewish leader would never have, had the chutzpah or the standing to say what he said. And it would have resonated far less if anybody else had been put in that position.
Just remember, the Jewish leaders didn't want my father to make the speech.
That's right. And that is mentioned in the film, and that is so typical of Jewish leadership in this country. We could do a podcast episode just on that, and I think actually we have.
My father, when I was in college, I remember there weren't a lot of things he asked of me. This was more in the flavor of guidance. It was not a commandment. But he pulled me aside. I think it must have been 18 or 19, and he said, "Alicia, you can do whatever you want to do in life. You like computers, that's great. Whatever it is you want to do." He's like, "There's just two things I really recommend you not do. A, don't become a rabbi, and please don't get involved in any kind of communal Jewish leadership."
Yeah.
He suggested that this was, there was only misery in that direction.
That's true. Well, we need rabbis, and we need good rabbis more than ever, but that was pretty good advice. Your father never, as a rule, criticized Israel. You already mentioned that. Even if he didn't necessarily agree with what a particular government of the day was doing. But now, as so many Jews have their as a Jew moment in which they bash Israel, and we're taping this the day after the Emmy Awards, where we had some as a Jew moments, people bashing Israel and talking about free Palestine.
Hannah Einbinder, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And really lend support to its enemies, and it's so ubiquitous. But that's really the opposite of what he was doing with respect to Bitburg, wasn't it?
Well, the worst is that so many of these people think that they're acting in keeping with my father's values. I've seen signs at Israel-hating rallies that actually say, Elie Wiesel said, the enemy, the opposite of love is not hate, it's indifference. So a lot of people go around and they think, I'm being Wieselian. I'm not indifferent. Look at me. But of course, I think my father hadn't properly envisioned at the time that he made that statement how we've gone beyond indifference. We've gone straight to what I like to think of as indignant ignorance. People are indignant. They're definitely they care about their issues. Whether or not they're informed, not so particularly relevant, but they're really, really indignant and not so listening.
Yeah, that is part of what we're dealing with now. Now, anti-Semitism may still have been alive, but in what perhaps we could call a period of decline in the first decades after the Holocaust, but it's certainly back with a vengeance today. As someone yourself who has been vocal about advocating for human rights issues, on issues that have nothing to do with the Jews, such as human rights in China, which was actually the topic when you were last on this show a few years ago, where do you see your duty today as someone who is well known for his advocacy to speak up about the demonization of Israel after October 7th?
Yeah, my father didn't believe in these, false choices. So I certainly don't believe it's an or choice. And by the way, kudos to you that you haven't framed it that way. Others have. Some people like to say, are you going to stand up for, everybody else's human rights, or are you going to stand up for our own in the Jewish community? Why does it have to be a choice? Why can't we do both? My father certainly did both. That's why I think he's such a compelling figure for us to remember in this day. But I feel a strong responsibility. I think that, believe it or not, the group that I actually think has a large part of the answer in fighting anti-Semitism really is Chabad. I think that the idea of reminding people that we're not just going to fight anti-Semitism, and because we fight anti-Semitism, that makes us more Jewish. We should be more Jewish because we believe that there's value in Judaism, whether it's the traditions, the faith, the values, the stories, the music, whatever it is, the things that bind us together. I think we have to double down on that. And when I think about how, I've channeled my own energy, I feel like I've channeled more energy into the education of my children that they should know what a joyful Shabbat dinner table looks like, with the benching of the grace after meals, with the candles being lit, with the proper kiddush done. One day they may choose to give that all up. I hope they don't, but let them do that from a position of knowledge, and not just intellectual knowledge, but truly emotional knowledge of what it was that our ancestors had created around that dinner table for so many centuries. And I think that that's a major part of what this fight is really about, is to not let it just become a political slugfest, but to really return a little bit to the value that we have and that we want to perpetuate.
Yeah, I think that was part, it was an element of the power of your father's writing, is that he was so firmly rooted in Jewish tradition, in the Hasidic tales, which played such a role in much of his work. It wasn't purely analytical. It wasn't purely memoir, and that is something that is that was part of the power of his work, and it's also, I think, why it needs to be reintroduced to a new generation. I mean, he was a very ubiquitous, for a few moments in our modern Jewish history, Elie Wiesel was a very ubiquitous figure. Obviously, as the years go by, it's been almost a decade since his passing. As a natural factor, I mean, he's not there anymore. And yet, we need to reconnect with that same sort of vision of what Jewish life is, and yet that there's a really, there's so much pushback against that.
It's like we're fighting with one hand tied behind our back. How can we expect the next generation to be invested in this fight if they don't know what they're fighting for, if they only know what they're fighting against? Oh yeah, anti-Semitism is bad because it's like racism, and racism's bad, therefore I should fight it, is very different than feeling under personal attack. This generation, I think, to a certain extent, they don't feel what I feel in my heart. When Israel is attacked, it's visceral, it's gut level, it's emotional. This is 50% of my brothers and sisters in the Jewish people, so many of whom came, whether fleeing the Farhud in Muslim lands or whether fleeing the Holocaust, to get to Israel. These are people, my brothers and sisters, have gotten to a place where they can finally defend themselves and create the state that is transforming the world with its inventions and its ideas. And I feel that viscerally. And if you don't know what you're fighting for, I think it's very hard to fight. And I think that's also true for the thread we were discussing earlier about what it means to be American. If people don't appreciate the incredible privilege it is to be a citizen of the United States of America, what the United States of America has represented on the world stage for centuries, as a superpower, as one that seeks an order based of democracy and liberty. If you don't feel that, then why are you going to bother teaching your kids that that's valuable? Why are you going to invest in civics? Why are you going to invest in things that build as opposed to destroy? I think it's very important on both those issues.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. As someone who grew up in New York, and if you've lived your life in and around the city, I'm going to ask you a political question that maybe, I don't know whether your father would have dodged if he was still with us, but I'm going to ask you, how do you view the rise of Zohran Mamdani, who is an open foe of Zionism and arguably the defender, at least of anti-Semitic positions, as the probable next mayor of the city? And what should we be thinking about this as Jews, not merely as political actors and people who have opinions, but how do we process this change where this is now acceptable?
Well, I guess there's a few questions here. The first is, how does this happen? And I think the how does this happen comes when you have a generation, as I said, that hasn't grown up with a real deep appreciation for how fortunate we are to live in a capitalist society. The word capitalism has become, it's a negative thing now in the same way that Zionist is negative. So much of the evil empire that we defeated in the Soviet Union, its ghost kind of escaped and made it into the modern American university. So that's a real problem that we have. But if you look at how he portrays and presents himself, I actually think Zohran Mamdani might be an idealist. I don't know him. He has ideals. They're ideals that are deeply opposed to the things that I believe in many cases. But he comes across as idealistic at a time when I think so many citizens feel that politicians are by definition cynical. And, You know, does Cuomo, do Adams, have they captured the imaginations of voters in the same way, where they see them as, you know, devoted public servants who are doing it for idealistic reasons? I think Mamdani comes off as an idealist in a citizenry that is trained to fight back and push against cynicism. So I think that some of it has to do with a lack of emerging candidates who can have that youthful idealism but channeled in a way that we would feel is more constructive. You know, you talked a little bit at the beginning of the episode about how, you know, I was once upon a time struggling under the load of my father's iconic nature. And when I was a kid, I remember by the way, I still love punk rock music. 16, 17 years old, all my favorite bands were punk rock. It's actually touched on in the film. Mm-hmm. You know, I love the aggressive music, the idea that you can scrap the order. Out of chaos, you get a certain resonance. But that's music, you know, like to so much of the Free Palestine movement to me, and so much of the tear it down, anarchy, you know, let's end capitalism, has all of the violence of punk rock without the good music. It's just people, you know, looking for change without thinking too hard about what they're going to build or what should be built. So that's, I think, how you get there. That's the cultural phenomenon. What are we going to do about it? Look, unfortunately, you know, one of these candidates, Cuomo or Adams, is going to have to drop out, and they better do it really, really fast. And, you know, I'm not going to in this podcast opine on which one it should be. I think,
and I guess we should give equal time to Curtis Sliwa.
And of course, equal time to Curtis Sliwa. But, you know, like, he's also taking up some vote share. Mm-hmm. Some combination of these challengers are going to have to drop for there to be a chance. And look, if God forbid Mamdani wins, I mean, this will not be the first time that the Jews have anti-Semitic leadership, or that it's been a while that we've had to actually deal with it as direct as this. But, you know, we have a 2,000-year history of having survived a lot. I don't think that all Jews should flee New York. I think we should double down, rebuild our institutions. I'm a big fan of what Maury Litwack is doing with the Jewish Voter Action Network, where he's trying to mobilize the Jewish community to punch at the weight we should be punching on. So I think there are certain initiatives that over time will enable us to not end up in situations where we have anti-Semites or those who have flirted or condoned anti-Semitism in high office in the city. And we'll fight, you know, if we have to play black and go second in the chess game, if we have to fight with a weaker hand for a little while, we'll do it. We're going to be a loyal opposition that's determined to come out the other side stronger.
Yeah, well, that's quite true. It does, what you said just also make me think that perhaps sincerity is a very overrated virtue in some instances. But you're right.
Expand on that.
No, I think because lots of bad people are very sincere. I mean, that's the point. I mean, obviously, people respond to authenticity. As we've seen, you know, in politics as it plays out in, you know, American life, Donald Trump is seen as very authentic, and whether you agree with him or disagree with him, and that makes people crazy to have this discussion, people know where he stands. He you know, and there's a certain sincerity to that. And, I think much of the stuff that he's doing is good. I'm not here to endorse or, make political endorsements. But I think we also know that throughout history, some of the worst people in history have also been very sincere. The Nazis, many of them were very sincere. They thought they were the good guys. Some of the worst people think that they're the good guys. And that is part of the snare that I think people get drawn into, in this particular situation. There's a whole there's multi-causation, as you've touched on. I think some of the toxic ideas that have driven so much of the sort of negative discussions about Israel and the sort of the destruction, and you rightly tie it to, sort of a war on American values and a war on Western civilization that's going on campuses, that's enabled this too. Sort of all that can be very sincere. The people chanting "Globalize the Intifada" and "From the river to the seas" can bespeak sincerity, but it's also ignorant. It's also, quite frankly, speaking up on behalf of what I think is a very evil cause. So, yeah, I think sincerity can be very overrated. So, there, I said it.
No, I appreciate that.
So I'm always, it's my podcast. I ask the questions, but I'm always willing to answer some too. So thanks for that. I want to switch back to discussion about your father's legacy. I know you've been involved in the creation of a space at the University of South Florida in St. Petersburg for your father's papers. Can you tell us more about that project and what you envisioned that to do?
Sure. It's actually, there's a few things that are going on. It's the Florida Holocaust Museum, which is in the St. Petersburg area. And the Florida Holocaust Museum is the recipient on a very long-term loan of many papers and documents and manuscripts and photographs that accumulated that we're in the process of, basically settling as part of my parents' estate as we go through this incredible mass of materials. Gratz College in Pennsylvania is really our primary digitization hub. They are digitizing everything from my parents' library and making it available ultimately online to researchers. And then there's an existing archive as well at Boston University that had been negotiated by my parents during their lifetime. So there's three separate archives.
Yeah.
Where he used to teach, that's correct. So there's 3 archives. We're looking to unify them. And we actually think it's going to be great because the Florida Holocaust Museum is devoting a lot of time and energy and money to properly creating a space where we may even get to recreate what my father's office looked like. So hopefully it will become a destination for those who want to know my father more deeply.
That's great. Now, your parents also created a foundation for humanity. And I might add, your mother, I think, plays a very prominent and very deserved role in this film because she was not just pivotal personally, but pivotal in terms of his work. Tell us about that foundation and where it stands today.
Sure. So the Elie Wiesel Foundation was created shortly after my father won the prize, the Nobel Peace Prize. It was created with those funds as seed money into the foundation. And throughout its lifetime, it really had 2 purposes. The first was to sponsor human rights conversations in places and on topics that needed it. So the foundation convened conferences in Belgrade. It convened conferences in Ireland where we brought Protestants and Catholics and even Bono to the scene. It convened a conference in 2005 or 6, I think 2006 with Olmert and Abbas to try to restart the peace process when the Israeli government had indicated that they would welcome my father's help in doing that. My father would never have gone to try to create one without the government, but when they were ready, he's like, okay, let me be helpful. Let me see what we can do. So that was one set, international conferences, particularly using the convening power of the Nobel name to try to activate other Nobel laureates. My mother was particularly interested in the Ethiopian Jews. And a lot of that was driven by her having come to this country in the 50s, being an initial NAACP member after she saw Black people mistreated in the South. And she spent quite a lot of time doing work for the NAACP. So when she heard that there was, this influx in process of Ethiopian Jews being airlifted into Israel, her immediate fear was, God forbid, there should be the sort of racism in Israel against people with dark skin that we've had for so long in America. Let's see what we can do to cut that off at the roots as early as possible by creating family and youth education centers in the cities where these children are going to be going. So that's the Beit Zipporah project, named after my father's little sister who died in Auschwitz. And those have been 2 major arms for us. Now, I took over the foundation about 2-3 years ago as chairman. We decided to reactivate the human rights space by engaging on the Uyghur issue, as we discussed last time. And we also are continuing the work we've done on Beit Zipporah, but we're starting to think more broadly. We're thinking of all the different hats that my father wore. My father was a human rights activist, thus the human rights work. He was an educator, so we've launched education work with one of my father's original TAs from Boston University to teach the next generation of moral leaders. My father was a journalist, so we ultimately envisioned doing something in the journalism space as well. We want to align it against these hats that he wore, and we finally succeeded in hiring an executive director. We began a search about 3 to 4 months ago, and I'm thrilled to announce that Liz Ann Eisen, formerly of Cravath and the Fresh Air Fund, and a number of different financial ventures, has joined us to be our full-time executive director, and now I think we're really going to start seeing things moving in the coming year.
Oh, that's good. That's good to hear. Elisha, thanks so much for joining us today. I do recommend that our viewers and listeners see Soul on Fire. It's an important documentary about a very important subject and more timely than ever. And also pick up, go back and start reading rereading if you've already read them, or reading them if you haven't. Elie Wiesel's corpus of work. They're very important. It helped frame a generation and needs to inspire more generations. We also want to thank our audience. Please remember to read JNS at jns.org, subscribe to our newsletters, and also tune in every day for Jonathan Tobin Daily Edition, which is available on all the audio podcast platforms. And whether you're listening to us on any one of those platforms, watching us live on Facebook or X, or on the JNS YouTube channel, please like and or subscribe to JNS, click on the bell for notifications, and give us good reviews. Please write to us at thinktwice@jns.org and let us know where you listen or watch the show and what you think about it. Last, I want to wish everyone a happy, healthy, peaceful, and sweet new year of 5786, Shana Tova U'Tuka, from all of us at JNS. And remember, keep reading and thinking for yourself, and we'll see you again next week.
Is Israel finally ready to take the gloves off? After decades of delay, government ministers are demanding full sovereignty over Judea and Samaria. The push comes after the UN's latest anti-Israel declaration, laying out a roadmap for a Palestinian terror state in the heart of Israel's biblical homeland. Prime Minister Netanyahu says it plainly: there will be no Palestinian state. But there's more. The IDF is warning of escalating violence in Judea and Samaria as the Jewish holidays approach. Hamas has shifted terror resources into the area, building cells and preparing attacks, something the Israel haters pretend doesn't exist. Even more disturbing, for the first time, a Qassam-style rocket was launched from inside PA-controlled territory. It may have been crude, but it flew. Tel Aviv and Jerusalem could be next. Let's break all this down and more on this week's Judaization. Shalom and welcome, friends, to this week's episode of Judaization here on JNS TV. My name is Josh Haston, correspondent for JNS News, and this is our 24th show. And I'm going to try something I haven't done before. Usually we have guests on the program, but I am going to do something a little different right now. I'm going to talk to you, the viewers, about all the latest from Judea and Samaria. Feel free to let me know what you think of this week's episode in the comments section. Number one, the sovereignty push. JNS reported last week that Israeli ministers called on the government to apply sovereignty over Judea and Samaria. This after the UN General Assembly voted to adopt what is called the New York Declaration, which outlines the implementation of a so-called two-state solution and the path towards the recognition of a so-called Palestinian state. Now, Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich, who's also a minister in the Defense Ministry, said the fact that a diplomatic attack on Israel is met with silence is unacceptable and cannot continue. He added that France and other countries are openly acting against Israel, and therefore Israel must apply sovereignty as a preventative measure against the reckless attempt to establish a terrorist state in the heart of our land. Israeli Justice Minister Yariv Levin called the UN decision a reward for terrorism, adding that a Palestinian state will not be established. The same holds true with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. He attended the signing of an agreement between the government and the city of Ma'ale Adumim, just outside of Jerusalem, and he said there will be no Palestinian state. This place is ours. These are the words of Prime Minister Netanyahu. Number one, first of all, Israel should once and for all apply sovereignty over Judea and Samaria. This should have been done back in 1967. Governments have been kicking the can down the road on this issue for nearly 60 years. So many more Israelis understand after October the 7th that a so-called Palestinian state would be a terrorist state and a reward for Hamas. That being said, I don't like policies which say, if you do X, then we'll go for sovereignty, meaning it shouldn't be responsive. It should be policy, because this is the ancestral biblical heartland of the Jewish people, and that's why you apply sovereignty. Jews are from Judea. It shouldn't look like a punishment of some sort for certain behaviors of foreign governments or the UN. It should be policy, plain and simple. That being said, if this is what it takes to get it done, to get the application of sovereignty, let's get it done once and for all. Israelis in Gush Etzion or Ariel should not be second-class citizens in this country. Israeli law must be applied. It should be done now. Moving on, the IDF is continuing to operate throughout Judea and Samaria, and according to the current security assessment, the military said in a statement to JNS News this past week, the fear is that as we approach the Jewish high holidays, things will begin to escalate. The IDF told JNS it was monitoring developments and carrying out operations on an ongoing basis in response to intelligence. Yisrael Hayom reported, citing Israeli officials, that a convergence of events could further inflame tensions, starting with the expected recognition, as we spoke about, of a so-called PA state at the UN, in addition to the Jewish high holidays and the beginning of the olive season, where Arabs go out and pick olives in the fields, according to Yisrael Hayom. At the same time, security sources claim that Hamas has been deploying terror forces and resources throughout Judea and Samaria. This reported by Walla. According to estimates from the IDF Central Command, several incidents involving terror infrastructure, which Hamas has been trying to expand in recent months, are expected to be uncovered and announced soon. So firstly, I don't remember a time when things were quiet in Judea and Samaria. I made Aliyah back in 2002. This was the height of the so-called Intifada, I call it the Oslo War. I don't remember a time of absolute quiet here. The terror organizations, whether it's the PA, yes, they're a terrorist entity, or the PIJ or Hamas, are always trying to attack. The need for security and the sense of security certainly heightened during the Jewish high holiday season. Secondly, the Israel haters on social media, they often claim Hamas doesn't exist in these areas. They say there's Hamas in Gaza. There's no such thing as Hamas in Judea and Samaria, and that's an absolute lie. I just read that report about Hamas investing resources throughout Judea and Samaria. There's a huge Hamas presence. They're very popular, especially in places like Hebron or the Arab-controlled areas of Hebron. So don't say that Hamas doesn't exist. That's just a lie by the Israel haters. They do exist in Judea and Samaria. And the big difference, though, between Judea and Samaria and Gaza is the fact that since 2002, the IDF has been in the PA-controlled towns. That includes Area A, which is supposed to be under full PA control. But we had Operation Defensive Shield back in 2002 after all the suicide bombings that were initiated and launched from areas in Judea and Samaria. That's where the terrorists came from. So since then, Israel has had the ability, and the IDF has been able to go into those towns under PA control. That was not the case in Gaza. That is why Hamas, over the last 15, 20 years or so, have been able to dig the terror tunnels, have been able to develop their rocket shooting capabilities, missile capabilities from Gaza without IDF boots on the ground and IDF civilian presence in those areas. It gives Hamas free rein. And that's exactly what happened after the expulsion of all Jewish life from Gaza. Hamas went to work almost immediately in building their terrorist infrastructure. And that is the difference from Judea and Samaria and Gaza. Again, boots on the ground, Jewish communities, that's what keeps the rest of the country safe, especially the greater Tel Aviv area, where you have the highlands of Judea and Samaria looking down on 75% of Israel's population centers. So important. Number three, and this is, I think, major news this week, it is the fact that Israel has discovered that there are terror cells in Judea and Samaria which are now developing or trying to develop the capability of launching Qassam-style rockets into Jewish communities, not only in Judea and Samaria, but it's such a small country that they possibly could launch into Tel Aviv, Netanya, Jerusalem, and all the major population centers. This is not far-fetched. We saw a terror cell actually test rockets this week, and the IDF actually made some arrests and uncovered a whole slew of different types of rockets and explosives by those terror groups trying to create this new reality on the ground in which they can fire rockets. Let's remember, back in Gush Katif, Hamas and other terrorist organizations launched 5,000 mortar shells at Jewish communities. Unfortunately, there was actually one person killed. Every life counts, but that was an extremely low number after firing for 5 years. Imagine if they had the hilltops over Ben Gurion International Airport and the ability to shoot at planes landing at the airport, or the ability to shoot these rockets at Tel Aviv, at Jerusalem. This is a major development. But again, boots on the ground in Judea and Samaria gives the IDF, as they did this week, the opportunity. This was a big operation with the ISA, with Yamam, operating near Ramallah in this village, apprehending members of this terror cell who are suspected of attempting to launch a rocket from the village of Naamah towards Israeli territory just last week. So again, this is a new level of concern. I'm not surprised by this. Really, the major thing is it's a concern for Tel Aviv. The city's just a few kilometers away. And again, the IDF ability to go into these villages is crucial here, but at the same time, it is harrowing. This threat needs to be nipped in the bud before it is too late. The next story here, you had 2 British lawmakers from the ruling Labour Party this week reportedly denied entries into Israel, into Judea and Samaria specifically, by the authorities as they participated in a parliamentary delegation to review, that's what they claimed at least, to review medical services in Arab areas in Judea and Samaria. MPs Peter Prinsley, Simon Ofer arrived at a border crossing from Jordan this past Monday, but were told they could go no further and they were sent back. Britain's foreign ministry complained that the ban was, quote, no way to treat British parliamentarians. So first of all, it's not anyone's right just to enter a foreign country. Just because you have a passport, a British passport, doesn't automatically mean you can go into the state of Israel. That's just not how it works. And if your true goal is to do harm to a country, to endanger its population, then certainly you don't have that right to enter. And that's what these 2 MPs had in mind, damaging and harming the state of Israel. I actually did a search on Twitter, on X, on the accounts of both of these MPs. And clearly they are aligned with Gaza and not with Israel, which means they're aligned with Hamas. Ofer in particular, MP Ofer, was belligerently anti-Israel. So why should they be let in so they could broadcast anti-Israel propaganda from the ground? Words matter in this fight, okay? And when you incite against Israel and Israelis, and when you incite, and this inspires Hamas, okay? It inspires them to continue to attack. So maybe on paper, it makes Israel look bad, not letting these 2 MPs into the country. But the damage could be much worse if these clowns were allowed in. So I think it was the right decision by the Israeli government. At the same time, you have those who are trying to hurt the economy because Jews are behind the scenes here in Israel, Judea and Samaria, and really throughout the country. The Netherlands decided they will ban imports on goods from Jewish communities in Judea and Samaria, according to the Dutch Foreign Minister David Van Wiel. He made that announcement this past week. Lawmakers put pressure on the caretaker government in the Netherlands to go forward with this and ban Jewish goods, not Arab goods, Jewish goods from Judea and Samaria. So talk about your anti-Semitism. Who are they boycotting? They're boycotting Jewish products. And who's producing these products? Jews who live in a certain geographical region. What about Arabs who live in this area? No problem at all. Those goods can be brought into the Netherlands. This is essentially the EU's version of BDS, signaling out Jewish products for a boycott. That's what BDS is. But not everyone in the Netherlands hates Jews. Let's not get the wrong idea. You had the Arut Sheva conference in the Shomron last week in conjunction with the Shomron Regional Council. And you had a Dutch Christian leader there, his name is Jack van der Tang, who delivered a powerful message at the conference of solidarity with Israel and the Jewish people. Representing a growing movement of Christians worldwide, van der Tang declared that according to the Bible, Judea and Samaria are inseparable parts of the land of Israel. He called on nations not to divide the area. So there you have some positive news. Someone who understands Israel's rights to Judea and Samaria. He lives in The Hague, home to the International Court of Justice, the ICJ. Van der Tang has become deeply engaged in challenging the court's rulings against Israel. So I want to publicly thank Van der Tang and all his supporters who understand that Jews come from Judea, that Israel should not be divided. So thank you to him and everyone involved in that campaign there in the Netherlands. And finally today, I'd like to end by quoting an article from Haaretz. It's not very often I do so. I think it's important, though, to bring and raise awareness here. This was reported by Haaretz. Dozens of Israeli school principals this past Wednesday rejected the education ministry's plan to provide extra funding for school trips to what Haaretz calls the West Bank. I call it Judea and Samaria. The tours were part of a program to strengthen Bible and heritage studies represented by the education ministry and Minister Yoav Kitch. He came up with this plan this past May with an emphasis on Israeli communities in Judea and Samaria. Of course, they call them settlements. I don't use that terminology. Haaretz called this program an imposition of a political stance. The Israeli principals who were quoted in this article, they are slamming giving funding towards programs which take students to Judea and Samaria. And these principals say that more funding should go to what they call domestic trips. Are you catching that? As if Judea and Samaria are some international destination. They want to fund domestic trips to Haifa and other areas. Judea and Samaria, separate country. There shouldn't be a budget for funding these international trips, according to these principles. Okay? Let's be clear here. This isn't about budgets and principals who care about budgets, what they call domestic budgets. They could care less about funding towards programs in Haifa and Tel Aviv and these other areas. This is political. This article is political. These people reject, these principals reject trips to Judea and Samaria. It's not about their budgets. They're not upset about that. That's the excuse. Budgets are the excuse. The reality is they don't want to go to these places. They don't want their students to experience life in these areas. But the bottom line is this: what's wrong with a program that strengthens Bible and heritage studies? Why is that so bad? We know around 80 to 90% the stories from the Bible take place in the mountains of Judea and Samaria. So why deny these kids an education? Why take your own personal politics into this? You don't have to make visiting these places, I'm talking about Hebron, Bet El, Shiloh. You don't have to make it political if you don't want to. Go learn about the history. Go learn about the Torah history. Let your students learn about this history. Nobody said these kids have to move there or buy a house there. If they want to, great. If they don't want to, that's fine. That's not the goal of this programming from the education ministry. And unfortunately, this is the hypocrisy of the extremist left. Claiming freedom of speech is the most important thing, but we don't want to hear the point of view of others. We don't want to let others talk, those on the right, those Jews who live in Judea and Samaria. We don't want to let our students hear their positions or expose them to their heritage, to the Bible, all of these things. We don't want to do that, but they claim that they're all about freedom of speech. We are unwilling to see your side. That's what they're saying. We're not letting our students make up their own minds. That's what this is really are about. No, we, these principals, choose to boycott. Such hypocrisy. And on that note, that is this week's Judaization. I've gone over the headlines of all of the major stories emanating from Judea and Samaria this week. We did not have a guest on the program. I'd love to know what you thought of this breakdown of all the different things taking place. And if you think that this is helpful in terms of your knowledge of the area, if this was a good description of the realities of what's going on in Judea and Samaria, I'm happy to do this more and more often. So give me your feedback in the comments and let me know what you think. I want to thank our team behind the scenes here, Yuri Svertsky, engineer, Ryan Lishitz. I want to thank our producers, Esther Eden and Zach Sickerman. Hope you're doing well and you're part of the world. My name is Josh Haston, correspondent for JNS News. Thanks for joining us on this week's Judaization here from the JNS Media Hub in Jerusalem, the eternal capital of the state of Israel and the Jewish people. Have a great week, everybody.
That was good. That was good. I like that. It was really good. So really, this is the first. Oh, there you are. This is the first. The pilot. Let's call it the pilot, for want of a better word, of my format going forward. I'll be essentially broadcasting from this Discord server room, Discord server channel, Discord server voice channel. So the link that you will see probably in every description or live chat will be the one to join for live chat or just community chat. So, yeah, I enjoyed that. And I think I'm going to say bye-bye. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all. And you too. Bye. I love you all. And you too. Bye.